teenagers shone last night in a 5-1 win over Ajax, and one of them that very much stood out was Estao. Once again, here is Enzo Maresca speaking about the player after the game.
With young players, most of the time you are a little bit worried because they play 1 game, 2 games, good game, they score and they think that they are already top players. The good thing about Estao that we don't need to be worried about that because it's very humble, it's very polite, he wants to work hard. He has fantastic family that they are very close to him, and for me personally it's fantastic because it's a special player, but in the same time you don't have to be worried to say okay, now he's going to play 1 game, 2 games, score, and he's already thinking that he knows how good he is. But the good thing is that it's very simple guy, simple boy.
And here's Jarell Hato on the player. Have I seen a teenager like this? Yes, maybe Lamine Yamal, but I cannot name anyone else. Frank's still with us, but Ale, that's quite the statement, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think the best thing you can say is what Maresca said initially, as he was referring to Estao and saying he has a good game and he doesn't show up the next day and be like, yeah, what's up? Yeah, that's right, I'm Estao, baby. You like me? I like me. Because if you're a veteran player or a player who has been around for a while and knows how difficult this profession is, you appreciate a young player who's as talented as Estao is, that still shows up the next day and does his job as he's required to do and he's asked to do. That garners respect within the locker room, and I think it garners respect and appreciation from the coaches as well. And it can only allow him to continue to grow and mature. And as he does that, he can only get better. The future for Estao is as bright can be. He's not quite Lamine Yamal status just yet, but he's well on his way.
Given that you did that so well, how Estao could be going into the dressing room but isn't, I wonder if you could do how Frank Leboeuf might be going into the dressing room.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, I won the World Cup. Nah. Hey, the World Cup. Yeah, it's right here in my car. The World Cup.
So we're going to come to you on a bit of humility here, Frank, although I don't know if you're the perfect person for it, but when it comes to Estao, it does sound as though he's doing all the right things off the field. We definitely know he is on the field.
Yeah, he has. Before answering to your question, let me answer to Mr. Moreno. The accent was very good. The character you're giving to the audience is not, because I've never been like that. It's just a show, and I just pretend to be who you think I am. Yes, I did win the World Cup, and I never showed off like that. I never showed off like that. Yes, yeah. But I'm sorry. That's something that I cannot forget and take out of my life. So, but whatever. Estao, I like him, and I love what the coach said. That's the main thing. When he talked about the humility, the family not being carried away by 1 goal, 2 good performances, and he's the best in the world, and he should get the armband and everything. We feel that something is good, something is solid in the background, and beyond all his talent, you have somebody who knows that he still needs to grow and learn many things. I would have loved, and I play alongside big players, young players like JT, like some others that they were so good that you knew that something good was about to come, but on top of it, listen to the others, looked at how to be a real professional, watching Gianfranco Zola, watching Marcel Desailly doing the job. So that's what it is, and that's what I feel with Estao, that the guy does the job, score, always thanks the guy who gave him the ball, always do the right thing, and ball again. That's perfect. I love it. Hopefully he's gonna last long. Hopefully he's gonna have a fantastic career, because so far he deserved it. But he's very young, and hopefully he's gonna celebrate his birthday the right way.
part of the issue, and I'm sure I speak for every single senior professional here.
So you want to know who JT is?
No, I know who, I kind of, can
But you
guess.
don't get to
sorry.
call him JT.
No, I don't, I don't get
No.
I have to call him Mr. Terry, I do.
Yes.
But I'm sure I speak for every single senior professional here. We have all seen talented youngsters that at times you see them in training and you think to yourself, I wish I had his raw talent. Then one game, one good article, and all of a sudden they show up differently and it comes crashing down. And so to see Estao kind of go through and embrace what's to come, I think it's all players like to see it.
It's refreshing. Jack.
It's refreshing. Yes, it is.
Frank, we love you
It is.
really and your
It
World
is.
Cup winning ways.
Yes.
Make sure to check out the latest podcast with GM and JL.
Very humble as always. Very humble.
And there it is.
Oh,
He's back. He's back.
Ah, boy.
we would all do the same. Yep, GM and JL podcast coming up. Make sure to check it out wherever you get your podcasts. Yeah, like it.
We start with the normal injury update, and in particular interested in where Liam Delap is in terms of dates he may be penciled in to play as well as ball training.
Yeah, we don't have any new injury. Liam took part of the session yesterday with the team for the first time, so he's not going to be available for tomorrow game, but probably for the next one. Yes.
So a little bit ahead of schedule, and that feels like quite a boost for you.
Well, the schedule also can change a little bit, depends how they improve or getting worse. In the first time they said me that could be available for the 25th of October. So today is 24, 25th.
So cup game next week possibly.
Yeah, can be available.
Yeah. A lot was made on Wednesday about all your youngsters and the records that they broke, how many you had on the pitch. As a coach who's obviously coaching some players worth hundreds of millions, and also the opportunity of coaching kids, what's the challenge in bringing those youngsters through, and how do you approach it? Do you actually enjoy that side of it? You've got the ability to kind of mould these guys for forevermore.
Yeah, I said after the game that it was a special night, especially for the club, for the fans, with so many young players. I said many times that they are all good players, talented players, and the main thing for me is just to try to help them day by day, how they can get better and better, and also for me personally, it's the only way to improve the team if you are able to improve players. So this is the main target with young players.
And when you say help them day by day, clearly it's a coaching help, but what else do you do to make sure these guys are going to be at the very top of time?
Again, just try to help them, first of all, to understand the way we want them to play, and also we have especially coaching staff that with all of them, especially after the session, we dedicate time to them to try to improve, because first of all they are young, they need to improve. Doesn't matter the age, because even the ones that they are a little bit more older, they need to improve. But for sure, if you want to improve the team, you need to improve players.
And I assume you're talking about the whole person, not just the player here. Yeah, the way that you want to see them. It's one of the hardest things within that, I guess, pulling them back, because I guess for someone like Estao, when he's young and as talented as he is, there's probably the temptation he wants to play all the time. Probably the temptation from you that you want to play him all the time. How do you strike that balance? Because he's still only 18.
No, the balance for me is quite easy in terms of we have 24, 25 players, good players, but at the end only 11 they can start. But I think since I joined the club, I showed that depends on the game, depends on the plan. We used to change players. So I know that when they don't play, they are not happy. But it's not just about one; it's about all of them. But they also know that they cannot play every game.
And what sort of conversations are you having with him? Because you must say to him, like, you're 18, you want to play for the next 10, 15 years. How does that go down with a kid who's just on the verge of becoming a superstar?
Yeah, it's with Estao, but it's almost with all of them. Doesn't matter the age, because with the ones, if you say to, I don't know, to Tosin, that is the oldest one, that is not going to play, is not happy. So it's not about the age, it's about that when they don't play, they are not happy. But again, they have to understand that they cannot play every game.
And just finally for me then, in terms of Sunderland on weekends, the teams that have come up, maybe surprised a few, done very, very well. And looking at it in a bigger picture of the Premier League, how much sort of more competitive, better does it make it, more challenging for you come kind of Saturday?
I think they show since the season start that they are a very good team. They play together, they work together, they play as a team. Also in terms of results, they have the same points than us, so they are showing how good they are doing since they start. And again, it's Premier League game. I don't think there is any game that can be easy. They are all difficult games.
Thanks, Gail. Bashawi?
Hi, Odo. You just mentioned Sunderland. Their manager, Leboeuf, has praised Chelsea. He said you guys are a good example for Sunderland because of how dynamic you are for such a young side. I just wonder, what do you make of him as a manager and his side? Have you been pleasantly surprised at how well they've started the season?
I spent one season with the Leicester in Championship, and I love Championship. So even if we play Premier League and Champions League, I always watch Championship. So I watch Sunderland since last season when the new manager arrived. They are doing very good, not from just this season, from last season. They play good football. They are quite strong, physically strong. So I really like the way they are doing the things.
Mark Guiu, of course, started the season with Sunderland, has come back and we've seen him deployed up front. I just wondered, how do you see his development as a number 9 and then the way that it impacts Joao Pedro's ability to do what he does from a deeper position?
Yeah, Mark is a typical number 9. You can see physically strong, this box, player. Again, it's 06. He can improve and he can do many things better. And we are working with him every day, try to help him. And as I said already many times, he's going to play games with us. Then in terms of Joao, we know that he can play as a 9 or he can play as a 10. In both positions, I think Joao is very good, but probably when he has another 9 next to him, he's playing better.
Thanks, Bashawi. John?
Just on Mark Guiu, obviously when he came back from Sunderland, he wasn't really playing. Did he come and see you and have a chat with you, and did you have to explain to him, where his position was here?
Yeah, we have a chat with Mark 2 weeks ago. I told him that the way he was training I didn't like, and he needs to change. He changed and he get the chance. Easy like that.
So what didn't you like about the way he was training?
He was not training well.
In what way?
In all the way.
Well, he wasn't giving enough commitment, or?
In all the way.
And why do you think that was for a young player?
I don't know. That's why young, sometimes they are in one way, the other way, so you need to go slowly with them. But since we chat, it's top, it's fantastic, it's working very good.
And you brought him up at half-time on Wednesday,
yeah.
So does that suggest he might start tomorrow? And is he ready to start, do you think, a Premier League game?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. He's ready to start.
Ready to start with. And Liam Delat, you spoke about being close to returning, may come back next week. When he does come back, is there a possibility that Mark may then go back on loan to Sunderland at some stage in January, maybe?
We are in October. I don't know also because in football things can change very quick for everyone, for players, for managers, for everyone. So it's very difficult to say.
And just one on Sunderland. I know in the past against sides, teams who've come up against teams like Sunderland, sometimes Chelsea have struggled at home. Does it give you a different challenge?
Well, the challenge it's always the same. Try to win the game, knowing that there is another team that also they want the same. They want to win the game, and they're gonna try to create an hard situation, a difficult situation for us.
Thanks, John. Simon?
Getting back to Estao, obviously talking about him being a young man, 18, a lot of attention on him in Brazil. There's now increasing attention on him and how he trains so well here. How do you and the players around him help him sort of cope with the increased sort of scrutiny and the sort of suddenly his name being mentioned everywhere?
We have, to be honest, we have Andrés Santos and João Pedro that they are helping him a lot because they are already in Europe from a different time, so they are helping him a lot. Us as a staff, as a club, we just try to help him, to give him all the attention that he needs, not just with Estao, with all the young players that they come from abroad. But we said the other day, he's a special player. The good thing about him is that he just think about football, he enjoy, he's happy, and also, again, his family is doing a fantastic job in terms of the way they grow him up.
And what did you make of, I don't know when it was pre-planned or whether you'd ever talked about it before, of Enzo giving, as in Fernandez, giving Estao the penalty? There was I don't know whether you knew there was an incident season before you arrived where Chelsea players argued over a penalty and it sort of took away from the performance that night, whereas this seemed like quite a good gesture that the team spirit is very good.
It's very, very good. I told the players after the game that for sure we were very happy about the winning, about the 3 points against Ajax. But the main thing about that game was Enzo when he gives the ball to Estao, because show how is the team in this moment, how they are all together in terms of togetherness, in terms of effort, and this is what we need if we want to try to do something important.
Thanks, Simon, and we'll finish this section with Rob.
Hi, Enzo. What targets did you set for the players at the start of this season, and do you revise those expectations as the season goes on? So, have 4 wins in a row, or did you reassess what might be possible?
The target with the players since day one is try to work hard every day, try to improve yourself. That is the only way to try to achieve something important. Last season we achieved Conference League, Club World Cup, a top 4 that I think no one of you in this room at the beginning of the season expect that, and so it was very important. And this season, when we started the season, was exactly the same. Try to work hard, improve yourself, try to understand how we can do things better day by day, and then at the end of the season we see.
But do you personally have like a more concrete idea of outcomes of what you like the end of the season to look like?
I'm just like the player. I say this to the players, but I also say this to myself. Try to improve, try to analyze, try to study. That is the only way that you can improve and you can achieve something important.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Now, Chelsea's talented teenagers shone last night in a 5-1 win over Ajax, and one of them that very much stood out was Estao. Once again, here is Enzo Maresca speaking about the player after the game.
With young players, most of the time you are a little bit worried because they play 1 game, 2 games, 3 games, they score and they think that they are already top players. The good thing about Estao that we don't need to be worried about that because it's very humble, it's very polite, he wants to work hard. He has fantastic family that they are very close to him. And for me personally, it's fantastic because it's a special player, but at the same time, you don't have to be worried. Okay, now he's going to play 1 game, 2 games, score, and he's already thinking that he knows how good he is. But the good thing is that it's very simple guy, simple boy.
And here's Jarell Hatto on the player. Have I seen a teenager like this? Yes, maybe Lamine Yamal, but I cannot name. Now, Chelsea's talented teenagers shone last night in a 5-1 win over Ajax, and one of them that very much stood out was Estao. Once again, here is Enzo Maresca speaking about the player after the game.
With young players, most of the time you are a little bit worried because they play 1 game, 2 games, good game, they score and they think that they are already top players. The good thing about Estao that we don't need to be worried about that because it's very humble, it's very polite, he wants to work hard. He has fantastic family that they are very close to him, and for me personally it's fantastic because he's a special player, but in the same time you don't have to be worried to say okay, now he's going to play 1 game, 2 games, score, and he's already thinking that he knows how good he is. But the good thing is that it's very simple guy, simple boy.
And here's Jarell Hato on the player. Have I seen a teenager like this? Yes, maybe Lamine Yamal, but I cannot name anyone else. Frank's still with us, but Ale, that's quite the statement, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think the best thing you can say is what Maresca said initially, as he was referring to Estao and saying he has a good game and he doesn't show up the next day and be like, yeah, what's up? Yeah, that's right, I'm Estao, baby. You like me? I like me. Because if you're a veteran player or a player who has been around for a while and knows how difficult this profession is, you appreciate a young player who's as talented as Estao is, that still shows up the next day and does his job as he's required to do and he's asked to do. That garners respect within the locker room, and I think it garners respect and appreciation from the coaches as well. And it can only allow him to continue to grow and mature. And as he does that, he can only get better. The future for Estao is as bright can be. Now, he's not quite Lamine Yamal status just yet, but he's well on his way.
Given that you did that so well, how Estao could be going into the dressing room but isn't, I wonder if you could do how Frank Leboeuf might be going into the dressing room.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, I won the World Cup. Nah. Hey, the World Cup. Yeah, it's right here in my card. The World Cup.
So we're going to come to you on a bit of humility here, Frank, although I don't know if you're the perfect person for it, but when it comes to Estao, it does sound as though he's doing all the right things off the field. We definitely know he is on the field.
Yeah, he has. Before answering to your question, let me answer to Mr. Moreno. The accent was very good. The character you're giving to the audience is not, because I've never been like that. It's just a show, and I just pretend to be who you think I am. Yes, I did win the World Cup, and I never showed off like that. I never showed off like that. Yes, yeah. But I'm sorry. That's something that I cannot forget and take out of my life. So, but whatever. Estao, I like him, and I love what the coach said. That's the main thing. When he talked about the humility, the family, not being carried away by 1 goal, 2 good performances, and he's the best in the world, and he should get the armband and everything. We feel that something is good, something is solid in the background, and beyond all his talent, you have somebody who knows that he still needs to grow and learn many things. I would have loved, and I play alongside big players, young players like JT, like some others they were so good that you knew that something good was about to come, but on top of it, listen to the others, looked at how to be a real professional, watching Gianfranco Zola, watching Marcel Desailly doing the job. So that's what it is, and that's what I feel with Estao, that the guy does the job, score, always thanks the guy who gave him the ball, always do the right thing, and ball again. That's perfect. I love it. Hopefully he's gonna last long. Hopefully he's gonna have a fantastic career, because so far he deserved it. But he's very young, and hopefully he's gonna celebrate his birthday the right way.
Part of the issue, and I'm sure I speak for every single senior professional here.
You wanna know who JT is?
No, I know. I kind of.
But you don't get to call him JT.
No, I don't. I have to call him Mr. Terrier.
Yes.
But I'm sure I speak for every single senior professional here. We have all seen talented youngsters that at times you see them in training and you think to yourself, I wish I had his raw talent. Then one game, one good article, and all of a sudden they show up differently and it comes crashing down. And so to see Estao kind of go through and embrace what's to come, I think it's all players like to see.
It's refreshing.
It's refreshing. Yes, it is.
Frank, we love you really in your World Cup winning ways.
Yes.
Make sure to check out the latest podcast with GM and JL.
Very humble as always. Very humble.
And there it is. He's back. He's back.
Oh boy.
We would all do the same. Yep, GM and JL podcast coming up. Make sure to check it out wherever you get your podcasts. Yeah, like it.
Should we start with the normal injury update, and in particular interested in where Liam Delap is in terms of dates he may be penciled in to play as well as core training?
Yeah, we don't have any new injury. Liam took part of the session yesterday with the team for the first time, so he's not going to be available for tomorrow game, but probably for the next one. Yes.
So a little bit ahead of schedule, and that feels like quite a boost for you.
Well, the schedule also can change a little bit, depends how they improve or get worse. In the first time they said me that could be available for the 25th of October. So today is 24th, 25th.
So can't go next week possibly.
Yeah, it can be available.
Yeah. A lot was made on Wednesday, wasn't it, about all your youngsters and the records that they broke and how many you had on the pitch. As a coach who's obviously coaching some players like hundreds of millions and also the opportunity of coaching kids, what's the challenge in bringing those youngsters through? How do you approach it? And do you actually enjoy that side of it? You've got the ability to kind of mould these guys forevermore.
Yeah, I said after the game that it was a special night, especially for the club, for the fans, with so many young players. I said many times that they are all good players, talented players, and the main thing for me is just to try to help them day by day, how they can get better and better. And also, for me personally, it's the only way to improve the team if you are able to improve players. So this is the main target with young players.
And when you say help them day by day, clearly it's a coaching help, but what else do you do to make sure these guys are going to be at the very top of the time?
Again, just try to help them, first of all, to understand the way we want them to play, and also we are especially coaching staff that with all of them, especially after the session, we dedicate time to them to try to improve, because first of all they are young, they need to improve. Doesn't matter the age, because even the ones that they are a little bit more older, they need to improve. But for sure, if you want to improve the team, you need to improve players.
And I assume you're talking about like the whole person, not just the player here. Yeah, the way that you think about it. It's one of the hardest things within that, I guess, pulling back, because I guess for someone like Estao, when he's young, as talented as he is, there's probably the temptation he wants to play all the time. Probably the temptation from you that you want to play all the time. How do you strike that balance? Because he's still only 18.
No, the balance for me is quite quite easy in terms of we have 24, 25 players, good players, but at the end only 11 they can start. But I think since I joined the club, I showed that depends on the game, depends on the plan. We used to change players. So I know that when they don't play, they are not happy. But it's not just about one; it's about all of them. But they also know that they cannot play every game.
And what sort of conversations are you having with him? Because you must say to him, like, you're 18, you want to play for the next 10, 15 years. How does that go down with a kid who's just on the verge of becoming a superstar?
Yeah, it's with Estao, but it's almost with all of them. Doesn't matter the age, because with the ones, if you say to Tosin, that is the oldest one, that is not going to play, is not happy. So it's not about the age, it's about that when they don't play, they are not happy. But again, they have to understand that they cannot play every game.
Just funny for me then, in terms of Sunderland on weekends, the team don't come up. I'd be surprised if you've done very, very well. And looking at it in a bigger picture of the Premier League, how much sort of more competitive, better does it make it more challenging for you come kind of Saturday?
I think they showed since the season start that they are a very good team. They play together, they work together, they play as a team. Also in terms of results, they have the same points than us, so they are showing how good they are doing since they start. And again, it's Premier League game. I don't think there is any game that can be easy. They are all difficult games.
Thanks, Gail. For Charlie?
Hi Enzo, you just mentioned Sunderland. Their manager, Leboeuf, has praised Chelsea. He said you guys are a good example for Sunderland because of how dynamic you are for such a young side. I just wonder, what do you make of him as a manager and his side? Have you been pleasantly surprised at how well they've started the season?
I spent one season with the Leicester in Championship, and I love Championship. So even if we play Premier League and Champions League, I always watch Championship. So I watch Sunderland since last season when the new manager arrived. They are doing very good, not from just this season, from last season. They play good football. They are quite strong, physically strong. So I really like the way they are doing the things.
Mark Guiu, of course, started the season with Sunderland, has come back and we've seen him deployed up front. I just wondered, how do you see his development as a number 9 and then the way that it impacts João Pedro's ability to do what he does from a deeper position?
Yeah, Mark is a typical number 9. You can see physically strong, this box, player. Again, it's 06. He can improve and he can do many things better. And we are working with him every day, try to help him. And as I said already many times, he's going to play games with us. Then in terms of João, we know that he can play as a 9 or he can play as a 10. In both positions, I think João is very good. But probably when he has another 9 next to him, he's playing better.
Thanks for Charlie. John?
Just on Mark Guiu, obviously when he came back from Sunderland, he wasn't really playing. Did he come and see you and have a chat with you, and did you have to explain to him, where his position was?
Yeah, we have a chat with Mark 2 weeks ago. I told him that the way he was training I didn't like, and he needs to change. He changed and he get the chance. Easy like that.
So what didn't you like about the way he was training?
He was not training well.
In what way?
In all the way.
Well, he wasn't giving enough commitment, or?
In all the way.
Why do you think that was for a young player?
I don't know. That's why sometimes they are in one way, the other way, so you need to go slowly with them. But since we chat, it's top, it's fantastic, he's working very good.
And you brought him up at half-time on Wednesday, yeah. So does that suggest he might start tomorrow? And is he ready to start, do you think, a Premier League game?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. He's ready to start.
He's ready to start, good. And Leboeuf, you spoke about being close to returning, may come back next week. When he does come back, is there a possibility that Mark may then go back on loan to Sunderland at some stage in January?
We are in October. I don't know also because in football things can change very quick. for everyone, for players, for managers, for everyone. So it's very difficult to say.
And just one on Sunderland. I know in the past against sides, teams who've come up against teams like Sunderland, sometimes Chelsea have struggled at home. Does it give you what kind of a different challenge?
No, the challenge it's always the same. Try to win the game, knowing that there is another team that also they want the same. They want to win the game, and they're gonna try to create an hard situation, a difficult situation for us.
Thanks, John. Simon?
Getting back to Estao, obviously talking about him being a young man, 18, a lot of attention on him in Brazil. There's now increasing attention on him and how he trains so well here. How do you and the players around him help him sort of cope with the increased sort of scrutiny and the sort of suddenly his name being mentioned everywhere?
No, but we have, to be honest, we have Andrés Santos and João Pedro that they are helping him a lot because they are already in Europe from a different time, so they are helping him a lot. Us as a staff, as a club, we just try to help him, to give him all the attention that he needs, not just with Estao, with all the young players that they come from abroad. But we said the other day, he's a special player. The good thing about him is that he just think about football, he enjoy, he's happy, and also, again, his family is doing a fantastic job in terms of the way they grow him up.
And what did you make of, I don't know whether it's pre-planned or whether you ever talked about it before, of Enzo giving, Fernandez giving Estao the penalty? There was I don't know whether you knew there was an incident the season before you arrived where Chelsea players argued over the penalty and it sort of took away from the performance that night, whereas this seems like quite a good gesture, that the team spirit is very good.
It's very, very good. I told the players after the game that for sure we were very happy about the winning, about the 3 points against Ajax. But the main thing about that game was Enzo, when he gave the ball to Estao, because show how is the team in this moment, how they are all together in terms of togetherness, in terms of effort. And this is what we need if we want to try to do something important.
Thanks, Simon. And we'll finish this section with Rob.
Enzo, what targets did you set for the players at the start of this season, and do you revise those expectations as the season goes on? So, have 4 wins in a row, or maybe you reassess what might be possible there?
The target with the players since day one is try to work hard every day, try to improve yourself. That is the only way to try to achieve something important. Last season we achieved Conference League, Club World Cup, a top 4 that I think no one of you in this room at the beginning of the season expect that, and so it was very important. And this season, when we started the season, was exactly the same. Try to work hard, improve yourself, try to understand how we can do things better day by day, and then at the end of the season we see.
But do you personally have like a more concrete idea of outcomes and what you'd like the end of the season to look like? I'm
just like the player. I say this to the players, but I also say this to myself. Try to improve, try to analyze, try to study. That is the only way that you can improve and you can achieve something important.
Okay, thanks guys.
A lot of goals in the Champions League last night in the league phase, and plenty this evening as well.
Chelsea 2, Ajax 0, Moises Caicedo with a second.
Christensen, can he get the shot away in the area? Oh. He can! What a move, what a goal! And again, what a save, Vicario! Ekitike racing through on goal, terrific pace, oh, what a finish!
And now they start to put balls in the box earlier and quicker.
Ball into the near post, and it in! Virgil van Dijk! Szoboszlai with the out-swinging corner, and there's Konate! Both centre-halves are at it now!
A Liverpool back? Estao with the long run up, stutters into the area and rockets the shot, left-footed. What a player. Chelsea 5, Ajax 1.
And if it wasn't for Vicario, it could have been a very, very different story.
Dominic Szoboszlai, 25 yards out, drills it into the bottom corner and gets Liverpool a 5th. This is like the Liverpool of last season.
Yes, eventful night in the Champions League. A great night Tuesday as well. Vicario did keep you in it, Paul. A few good saves, wasn't it?
Yeah, about 5.
I thought you were going to nick it at the end when Brendan Johnson with that shot.
Brendan, that would have been something else.
Yeah, that would have been something else. Yeah.
No, a scuffer. Sadly.
And just as the second Liverpool goal, just as they were about to take the corner, I was thinking they really missed Trent on these dead balls.
Okay,
I think that's what's gone wrong here with Liverpool is they missed Trent on the
Van Dijk scored.
And then scored from 2 corners.
I love Newcastle's third goal the other night. It was a thing of beauty, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
They worked it. Anyway,
great goals.
Let's reflect on what we've learned from the Champions League this week. There's still a big night of European football to come. Andy Brassel, European football expert, joins us. Hi, Andy.
Hello, Andy.
Well, guys, how are you?
Yeah,
good, thank
very
you.
well.
I know you chat with Tim Vicker on a Sunday night on Trans Europe Express, and he was talking up Estao and thinking he was the real deal. And I think he's proving it. A lot of maturity for a lad of that age. It was an historic night for Chelsea, wasn't it? And a fantastic penalty. We just heard the commentary on there.
It was quite interesting how you had one setting a mark of being the youngest scorer in the Champions League for Chelsea, and then being beaten, the same record being beaten twice in the same night. But if ever that was going to happen, it was going to happen against Ajax, who are really one of the poorest Ajax sides I can remember seeing, certainly for over 10 years. They're in a real state at the moment. Of course, they were particularly vociferous to travelling fans about John Heitinga, who played a role in Liverpool's success last season in winning the Premier League, but has found it really hard as number one there. And I think it shows that Francesco Farioli, of course, is taking his unbeaten record with Porto to Nottingham Forest tonight. What a brilliant job he did to get them to the last day of the season winning the title. Because, I think you look at some of the Ajax sides of recent past, particularly the 2019 side, of course, that Lucas Moura finished off and stopped getting to the final in 2019. And you could see the players that were going to end up at other big European clubs. You look at the current team sheet and you're thinking, who's buying these, really?
But it must be so frustrating being Ajax manager that, if you do at all well, you're going to lose half your team, and that happens but that's been for the last 30, 40 years.
You've got
the business.
You've got all that weight of history, but not necessarily the players to deliver it at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's certainly the case at the moment. I mean, you look at the two teams that have got no points, like 0 points after these first 3 rounds of the Champions League, two multiple previous winners in Ajax and Benfica, which on one hand tells you how much European football has changed in the last 30, 40 years and how much financially the picture of the European game is different. But Charlie, going back to what you were saying about losing players, I mean, the one thing if you're Heitinga at the moment, you've got no players to lose. Like I said, no one would want any of those, and that really tells you that it's not entirely his fault, that it's about a failure from the club in terms of using the money they got from that Champions League run and selling De Ligt and De Jong. They've wasted all that money, really, and they're left with a very poor team that Heitinga can't really do much with.
It was great to see the return of Bumfluff to top-level European football.
Who was that,
Step
Paul?
forward, Lennart Karl, who, despite being 17, it said, "Mum, I'm definitely going to grow a beard and moustache, and it might be a bit wispy, but I don't care." But he did step up. He was another one of the kids who scored a memorable goal last night for Bayern.
You say the return of Bumfluff. I mean, did it ever go away?
Well, I don't know. Whatever happened to Bumfluff is an Arthur Smith line. I don't know. I mean, maybe it did. I don't know. Maybe we haven't got time really to dwell on that. Tell us a bit more about Lennart Karl.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's an amazing story. Of course, his first Champions League start, 17 years old. And he was fantastic. The goal he scored, the confidence to take it into that central position, and then the finish from the edge of the box was absolutely brilliant. And I think when you look at Bayern's history of producing players, it's funny, we don't really often align Bayern with an Ajax or a Barcelona, but we should. You look at the amount of players they produce, it's extraordinary. And Karl, if you go back a couple of months, he was miles off the first team, absolutely miles. They respected him, they knew he had talent to maybe make it at some point. I think they probably would have loaned him out this season. But you had Paul Vanna, one of the other great hopes, going to PSV. And that and a few departures, really, and a few injuries, really gave him a bit of room to impress in pre-season. He did that really well. He took his opportunity with both hands, and he certainly took his opportunity with both hands last night. Because I think if you look at the big teams who got big results in the Champions League, particularly last night, of course, you think of Arsenal beating Atletico because Atletico are a sort of Champions League perennial. Club Brugge are tough to knock over. You think of what they did to Rangers in the qualifiers, and then they beat Monaco 4-1 in the first game. And they go and they are absolutely absolutely smashed at Bayern last night, and that doesn't really happen to Club Brugge that often. So it just shows you how good Bayern are at the moment.
You're a seasoned Ballon d'Or watcher, Andy. Harry Kane, is it coming too late in his career for that? Is he a sexy enough footballer for it?
Look, if he wins the Champions League, all bets are off, Charlie. That's what I'm saying, because I think it's a weird thing to say, and we said it on Monday's show, didn't we, Paul? But like when he's got to 400 club goals in the last week, and I'm going to ban people talking about Harry Kane numbers because the numbers are disgusting. They're X-rated, but also they don't really describe how good Harry Kane has been for Bayern on and off the field. He's been fantastic, and you know what? If he turns up to the World Cup in this sort of form next summer, fit and in form, it's great news for England.
As 50-year-old Jamie Curran was described by his new club, Kings Park Rangers, he's a man who absolutely stinks of gold. He is. It's a beautiful turn of phrase.
That's lovely, isn't it? Yeah.
Let's talk about Jude Bellingham. A good performance last night and a goal apparently against Juve.
Yeah, that's right. The goal itself was a bit of a formality. It was a bit of magic from Vinicius Junior. His shot hit the post and Jude was there to tap it in. And I think the fact that he was there to tap it in is quite important because it shows he's in an advanced position. And when you saw the game that he played against Getafe at the weekend, again, which we spoke about on Monday, they've got to find a sort of balance in midfield. And Xabi Alonso's still figuring out what his best team is, the formation he wants them to play. But really, they're coming around to the idea that whatever happens, even post Mbappe, they want Bellingham in an advanced position. It worked at Getafe at the weekend, and it really worked particularly in the second half yesterday, because you're wondering where exactly do you put Bellingham. Well, I remember speaking to Xabi Alonso about this before when he was Leverkusen coach, and he said to me, look, people obsess over tactics, but the reality is the tactics are a framework, and then I trust the players, my players, I trust them to go out there and interpret the role as they see fit. And you can really see that with Jude Bellingham at the moment, because you saw him popping up almost as a second striker yesterday. He pops up on the right wing, he pops up on the left wing. And really, Juventus, who defended brilliantly and were really well organised, which is not always the hallmark of an Igor Tudor team, they didn't really know where to pick him up, and they didn't know who to pick him up with. And that really, despite the fact that the goal looks easy, he's building up to that by the way that he's taking up so many different positions, and in the end there's no one marking him.
Do you want to ask you finally about Mo Salah? I mean, a man feared throughout Europe for his goal-scoring prowess, but not happening for him so far. Bench last night, wasn't really at it when he came on. I mean, what are you making as somebody who's seen an awful lot of him in Europe, Andy?
Well, look, I think with Mo Salah, it's difficult, of course, because the Liverpool team has changed so much around him. And you could argue with Liverpool, and it's a discussion that everyone's had on TalkSport, they've changed too much too quickly. And I have sympathy for that point of view. And I have sympathy for Mo Salah when it was his team, to how things are changing there. But ultimately, some of the changes they've made are to benefit Mo Salah. When you re-sign him to that new contract, you're working out not just how can we make the most of him next year, but how can we really give him longevity? How can we prolong what he does well? And I think actually the best news from last night, never mind him coming on and not really doing that much, it doesn't really matter because they won comfortably anyway. And they were in a great position anyway. I think the best news for Mo Salah to come out of last night is the performance of Florian Wirtz, because Wirtz has found it hard to settle. He had a team that was built around him before. That's not the case. And whether you think number 10s work in English football is a different discussion, which would last a lot longer. But I think with Wirtz playing well, if Wirtz is playing well, that takes a lot of the creative load off Mo Salah. And all he has to do from that point is score goals. And that really simplifies the equation for him. So if Wirtz is playing well, then Salah is on the way to becoming the player that we all know he is.
Excellent. Andy, we're out of time. I'll catch up with you next
Thanks,
Monday,
Andy.
if not before. Thank you, guys. You can hear Andy on Trans Europe Express every Sunday evening with Danny Kelly and a cast of thousands from around Europe.
Yeah, great. It's a great listen.
Looking at all the big cities, always a great listen. You can download the podcast as well. If you've missed the show on a Sunday, it's available as a podcast. Talking of which, if you can't get enough of the Champions League, make sure to tune into today's edition of the TalkSport Daily podcast for an in-depth Champions League roundup with European football expert Doogie Critchley. It's available on all podcast platforms as well as the TalkSport app. Henry Lansbury joins us for a chat next, formerly of Forest and Arsenal, of course. But we're going to focus on Forest. Sean Dyche's first game tonight against Porto, live on TalkSport from 8 o'clock. And we'll get Henry's take on what he's seeing at his old club. And that's coming up in a few moments' time. We're here with Tool Station. Gear up for those darker nights with electrical and lighting offers. Next stop, Not lightning offers. They might be lightning offers.
There might be, Paul.
Lighting offers. Next stop, Tool Station.
From him now, because he's alongside Olivia Bazaglo.
Thank you very much, Lindsay. Yes, Tyreek. I mean, a crazy first half that you would have watched from the bench, but just try and sum up what would have been an incredible night for you as well.
Just really happy to win, you know. We got so many goals, we played well, had fun out there, you know. It's Champions League, so we had fun. It's good.
When you were watching that first half, I bet you were watching it going, I can't wait to get out there.
No, I was just itching to get on, try and score. That's what I did, so I'm happy.
And you did. An incredible moment for you. Your first Champions League goal. Talk me through it. It's a little deflection, but you'll take that, won't you?
Of course. I kind of just seen the ball just laying there, so I was like, let me just get onto it. Just hit it, and then, yeah, went on.
How special is that a moment for you, being a Chelsea boy, being young as well, to score your first Champions League goal here in front of this crowd?
It's an amazing feeling ever since young, of 8 years old, to score in the Champions League. So it's what dreams are made of. It's good.
And also, you scored, Mark Gue scored, and Estao scored. Chelsea became the first club to have 3 teenagers score in a Champions League game. The future is bright at this football club, isn't it?
Definitely, you know, we're all young, having fun, that's it. Having fun on the pitch, that's it. So, yeah.
And obviously now it's Chelsea 4 wins in a row. Do you feel like the confidence in the group is building and building and building?
Definitely. We just want to keep growing, keep improving, keep getting wins.
Tyreek, congratulations. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
A first Champions League goal for that man there. He showed brilliant mentality, hasn't he, after his move in the summer fell through, to fight back for his place and get that goal tonight. Chelsea's 4th win in a row as the momentum keeps on building. Well, Sunderland, but how confident are you that you can keep this run going now, especially at home?
Yeah, we are happy, but every game is different, and especially Premier League game, they are demanding all of them. And as you said, Sunderland, they are doing well, but we're gonna try to continue to keep the momentum in the way we are.
Well, enjoy a great win tonight. Thank you very much.
Well done, boss. Congratulations.
Appreciate you coming out. Thank you. In the rain especially, a big win tonight then for Enzo Maresca side. We'll look back.
When you're a man up, you don't want to concede, and you don't want to nibble at a striker running at you. You just want to stand your ground, stay on your feet. So it was a silly challenge, really.
And the goalkeeper, George, you feel should have saved it?
Should have done better. You never say you should have saved the penalty, but Veghorst struck it in the middle.
Well, you are saying it though.
Yeah, I am, yeah. You should have.
You are.
But Veghorst had a terrible night. It was a clear penalty. And Enzo stepped up and he dispatched it. That's the way to take a penalty. And then again, this is more or less straight after. You know, Estao jinking into the box. You know, and again, like Tossi and Ida, you cannot dangle a leg, especially with someone as crafty as Estao. And the modern football, if someone feels something, they're going down. And why wouldn't you? Because you've got VAR, you're going to get a penalty, and that is a penalty as well. Side netting.
And you said at half-time as well, you like to see the captain offering that penalty up to Estao. That was a good move on a night like tonight.
It's just a nice gesture, really. But Estao fully deserved to take that penalty. He won it himself, obviously full of confidence. And what a way to finish it, just put it in the top corner like he'd never done anything else.
And then Tyreek George, Ida, came off the bench on the pitch a couple of minutes and decided he wanted in on the fun.
Yeah, I was just saying to Joe, I think I was probably about 25 or 26 when I scored my first goal in the Champions League, and I was over the moon. Imagine, what is it? What is he? These are boys, and they're already living the dream of so many young players. Coming on, scoring your first goal, it took him 2 minutes in the second half.
It's great.
It's just wonderful.
What can nights like this do for those young players' development?
It's going to take them on to the next level. The confidence they're going to bring, and there's a batch of young players coming through at Chelsea. There's a batch of teenagers around the world when you think of all the your Mao and the likes. But there's a new generation coming. It's exciting for football, and these boys will be looking over at the teenagers that have played and broken through all over the world, and they'll be thinking, I'll have a bit of that. I can do that. We've got Max Dowman at Arsenal, 15 years of age, playing in the Premier League. He's Nwaneri at Arsenal is doing bits. And now Chelsea have got players, they've got a clutch of them, so it's brilliant to see, and they're all doing it together, so it's going to feel normal to them. It ain't going to be till they get older and they're 28, 38, maybe standing here talking.
They'll appreciate it when they're our age.
Yeah.
Because that's when you think, wow, these nights, these moments, just walking out on the pitch, listening to that song, that ever famous Champions League song, it's just the best feeling.
Yeah.
How do you feel about their position now then in the table? Obviously they had that tough opening game against Bayern Munich, but that's back-to-back wins now. Do you feel they're really in a strong position to progress automatically?
Probably where they deserve to be. Looking at the games, I think the Bayern result was tough to take. They did bounce back against Benfica, which was a game that I thought was more about, the headlines were more about Mourinho coming back to the bridge than the actual game itself. So just to get the 3 points there was very important for Chelsea.
He does have that effect.
Well, he does, and he always will. And then tonight's performance. So I think Enzo will be very pleased with the situation.
Do you think they're starting to get that bit of swagger? Robbie was talking in commentary about them being in the title conversation. They do have quite a favourable run coming up.
Yeah, they're in the conversation, Linz. To beat Liverpool like they did and the results that they've got, they're in the conversation. You look at the games there, the Champions League games coming up, Paphos at home, that's pretty straightforward. Atlanta might be tricky. Barcelona's the one. Carrier bag away is a difficult game. But you expect them to cruise through, you expect them to cruise through. The Premier League is going to be difficult. I still put Arsenal above everyone else at the moment. Then you've got Manchester City and Liverpool, and Chelsea are there.
Yeah, they're playing at a different level at the moment, Arsenal, aren't they? The way they're defending. That's nearly all we've got time.
Well, they're well up there, fourth place. Manchester City and Newcastle are in the top 8. Liverpool and Chelsea are in a nice position in the knockout round playoffs as things stand. Spurs just behind them as well with 5 points so far after 3 match days. I think one of the things with Chelsea today, Marco, is the youth that we really saw on full display, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It was also the perfect match for some of the youngsters to get their moments. And the beautiful thing was Guiu is the youngest goal scorer for Chelsea in the Champions League at 19 years old. You're seeing this goal right here, and we think that that's going to be the storyline that we lead with about Chelsea and in them getting the win. And then, incredibly, he only had that record for a total of 33 minutes, because then later on into the match, you could see right here in the 45th minute, there's a penalty kick for Chelsea. Enzo Fernandez grabs the ball. He gives it to Estao, who's 18 years old, and he allows him to take the penalty kick. And Estao grabs it, takes it from the spot, and he becomes the youngest Chelsea goal scorer in Champions League history. So fun moment here from the English side.
That's a Kodak moment, that is, isn't it? An Argentine giving the ball to a Brazilian. Happened to the rivalry.
World peace.
Well, after Guillaume, Estevao and Tyreek George, Chelsea are the first side in Champions League history to see 3 different teenagers score for them in a single match. And here is Tyreek George speaking after the game. Youth, are we missing Chelsea's youth, Nigel?
We're not missing Chelsea's youth. It's a different blueprint from what Chelsea have gone in there and the business aspect of it. They want to go young for resale value and for different priorities. So whether this youth team would ever get to that point to win a Premier League title or win the Champions League, I still just don't see it. I still think they're missing the balance of experience. Different to Barcelona youth is there's balance with experienced players there. So that's why they can take it to that level. But this is the blueprint that Chelsea say they're going to work with. They're going to stick to it. They're going to keep bringing out the youngsters. Great result today. Ajax, for me, were absolutely shambolic. I don't think I can learn too much about this Chelsea team, because I won't deny that they do have young, talented players. But I'm not going to sit here and say I learned a lot about this Chelsea team, because Ajax went down to 10 men. They got the job. It was easy. But for what Chelsea fans want, they want to win a Premier League title. They want to win the Champions League. I still feel they're just a little bit too young. Maybe they might prove me wrong, but I'm still going to believe in that whole balance of experience and youth, and I still feel they're missing that little bit more experience.
It's just incredible story. I think it's a great story that these young kids, that the investment in them, we always talk about in Italy in particular, we say, well, the young kids need to play more, right? So they're playing these kids are playing Champions League football, right? At 18 years old. So obviously before this, I used to work at Cincinnati. I obviously mention all the time in the scouting department, and people call me and they're like, oh, what do you think? Can you take a look at this player? And I'm like, is he 12? Because if not, he's too old. Because it used to be that at 18 you were considered a young player. Not anymore. I think Yamal knocked that down. Now it's like, are you talented at 14, 15 years old or no? Because at 18, these guys will be veterans. If they play game in and game out Champions League football, these guys at 20 years old would be considered veteran players, will be considered first-team players, normal players. Where back in the day, 20 years old, you never saw. If you saw a 20-year-old scoring in the Champions League back in the day, you'd be like, wow. Who is he?
You have to be
now
special.
It's like if you're 20, you're like, oh, he's old news.
It's also the good thing about
trend.
multiple competitions, right? I know we criticize a lot, and for sure there's too many games for a lot of the players, but it also gives an opportunity for teams to be able to put new guys in, right? This is the new Champions League format that we're experiencing after 2 years. Chelsea also have the Club World Cup, so they have a lot of opportunities to play these guys. And while I agree with Nigel, I think that they don't have that balance right, and we see the mistakes that Chelsea have made, but at least there's a project. At least the future feels bright for this team, right? Maresca, the blueprint that he wants to build with this squad, right? So will they get to the level of Barcelona? Now we're holding them to the standards of one of the best teams in the world. I don't think that they're there. I think rightfully so. But Estao looks like he could become, a top player. So it's a good movement for them. I agree with you. Ajax has not shown me the quality. It's incredible that Ajax is at the bottom of the table in this Champions League group stage. It's not the Ajax that we grew up with, that we're used to seeing. And I haven't seen that quality on display from Ajax the entire Champions League campaign. Maybe the red card hurts them, but nevertheless, it's 3 matches that I've watched Ajax play, and I'm left disappointed in all 3 of them.
Yeah, because they kind of used to be the team that we would look forward to and look at them as a youth system and see what products are going to be the next big thing in Europe. And now it feels like we obviously haven't seen that come to fruition. But for Chelsea, maybe, we've seen so many players come from their academy, Grella, and no doubt it's going to inspire more players to play for Chelsea, knowing that they're the ones giving these opportunities away, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's something you look at. When I was a kid, I had the opportunity to go to Italy, or have the opportunity to go to England, and I'm Italian American. Obviously, you would think my game suits Italy, or I knew people in Italy, but I went to England because I knew that in England I would be given an opportunity to play. I knew that that if you do well in England, they play you more so than in Italy, where it takes forever. You got to know someone's uncle, who knows the priest at the church up the road, who knows your sister's cousin. So and if you don't, then it's
England's
tough.
better.
So no,
that's what you wanted to say.
In that category,
yes.
Just say that. In that category for young.
In this specific scenario, you're correct.
England is better in providing opportunities to young players to go and play. Managers are not as scared as they are in Italy, and also Grella does need a priest. He needs a priest to be blessed, bro.
Well, in England, it's for foreign players, usually. No, not English ones.
Well, we were glad that you went to England, Grella, and enjoyed the lifestyle that we have to offer you there.
I loved it. I love the English.
Yorkshire tea.
Stay with us, more to come.
Chelsea's talented teenagers shone last night in a 5-1 win over Ajax, and one of them that very much stood out was Estao. Once again, here is Enzo Maresca speaking about the player after the game.
With young players, most of the time you are a little bit worried because they play 1 game, 2 games, good game, they score and they think that they are already top players. The good thing about Estao that we don't need to be worried about that, because he's very humble, he's very polite, he wants to work hard. He has fantastic family that they are very close to him, and for me personally it's fantastic because he's a special player, but in the same time you don't have to be worried to say, okay, now he's going to play 1 game, 2 games, score, and he's already thinking that he knows how good he is. But the good thing is that it's very simple guy, simple boy.
And here's Jarell Hato on the player. Have I seen a teenager like this? Yes, maybe Lamine Yamal, but I cannot name anyone else. Frank's still with us, but Ale, that's quite the statement, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think the best thing you can say is what Maresca said initially, as he was referring to Estao and saying he has a good game and he doesn't show up the next day and be like, yeah, what's up? Yeah, that's right. I'm Estao, baby. You like me? I like me. Just if you're a veteran player or a player who has been around for a while and knows how difficult this profession is, you appreciate a young player who's as talented as Estao is, that still shows up the next day and does his job as he's required to do and he's asked to do. That garners respect within the locker room, and I think it garners respect and appreciation from the coaches as well.
Than the next man in your position, and let's get it right, Chelsea have 2-3 players for every position, and you've got to be better than them every single day in training.
I think it was difficult for him though, because you're at Sunderland, you think you're going to be there for the full season. Then after the injury to Liam Delap, it was Nicholas Jackson, remember, first that was supposed to come back, but he insisted on joining Bayern. Guiu then comes back. For a period you see João Pedro lead the line, Pedro Neto as a 9, Tyreek George. So as a young player you may be wondering whether you're going to get any opportunities, but Enzo Maresca's shown that it is a meritocracy and age is not a barrier to playing, and anybody can find their way into the starting 11, and this is a real opportunity, isn't it, just before Liam Delap returns, because he is now back in full training. If Guiu can go on a run all of a sudden, you never know, he might hold his place.
And so he should. They say possession's 9/10 of the law. He has the shirt at the moment, and he's Chelsea's centre forward. You know, there's no reason to say that if his performances don't continue to be good, that he won't stay in the team. I played under Steve Coppell. Some people remember him, some won't. At Reading, he was my Reading manager, and I wasn't playing. I got in the team, played well, and he didn't care who he left out to keep me in, and I went on a run of games. So that's how it works. Possession's 9/10 of the law, and I think it's really good management from Maresca to say, here you go, you've done well, you're playing again.
And at the other end, even though Sunderland may set up quite defensively, what does Isidore have to do to allow Sunderland opportunities on the counter-attack, or to maybe score from set play? Where can Sunderland cause Chelsea damage?
Well, firstly, he's got to occupy 2 centre-halves. So he's got to be big, which he is. He's got to be strong, which he is. He's got, when the ball goes up to him, he's got to keep it up there. Otherwise, if it keeps coming back, Sunderland won't be able to get out. They'll be stuck in and around their own box. So when the ball goes up to him, he's got to be big, strong, draw fouls. If he's not drawing fouls, can he get hold of it? Can he bring his midfielders into play and let them get up the pitch? If he doesn't do that, it could be a long afternoon for Sunderland.
More from Kevin in just a moment. We're about 5 minutes away from kickoff here at Stamford Bridge. The sun is shining. Last night in the game that I covered at Ellen Road, it was tipping it down with rain, or raining cats and dogs, as we say here in the UK. But the sun is shining. Perfect conditions for football. Full house at Stamford Bridge as Chelsea look to make it 5 wins on the bounce. As far as the Premier League table is concerned for both of these sides, Chelsea are beginning in 5th place, and they can move to 17 points, which would take them at least temporarily up to 2nd place. And Sunderland start in 7th place. If they get 3 points, they can also move to 17 points, and again potentially finish the weekend as high as 2nd, and that would be a phenomenal achievement, even though Sunderland, of course, during the summer spent well over £100 million. All that's left then is the build-up as the teams are in the tunnel, and we'll have full match commentary coming up very shortly, plus updates from Newcastle against Fulham.
But today, for example, has 7 players who weren't at Sunderland last season. So they've taken the view that yes, you go up for the playoffs, but you have to make changes, and they've spent pretty big too, and they've brought in several new faces. As far as this Chelsea side is concerned, I think we called this pretty much on Wednesday night. We saw the people that were left out from the word go, the people that also came off during. That really gave the clues to what Maresca would do today.
Indeed, and the team was almost picking itself as every goal went in, Dave. That was the Maresca conundrum that he was faced with, you know, picking a team to get past Ajax, a Champions League game. Off the bench, second half against Forest, that forced us higher up the pitch. Look, I can't dress up the first half performance against Forest other than saying it was terrible, right? Let's call it for what it was. And yeah, we got away with it. Gibbs White should hit the target minimum. There were 1 or 2 other moments that they had where they should hit the target and maybe they didn't. Second half substitutions, Maresca gets it right, and he's planning these little manoeuvres through games, giving players minutes. Lavia giving minutes to players. At the moment, he's getting things right. Second half against Forest, much better. Obviously, the scoreline will tell you that. Done something similar against Brentford away. It didn't quite pay off. It nearly did. Didn't quite pay off. But going back to your point, the fact that we have now got players, I think, our best available team right now. Whoa, who are you going to put in there? Who comes in out of the team that's been picked? Guillaume has earned his right to start this game.
Just running through the Chelsea subs, obviously Gusto is suspended after the red card last week. So on the bench today, Jorgensen, Tosin, Gittin, Santos, Hato, Fofana, George, Estao and Lavia. Estao was very exciting on Wednesday night and could well have a part to play off the bench as an impact player. We've seen that already this season. The Sunderland team, by the way, Robin Russ will be in goal. We think they'll have a back four, but that's to be confirmed. Trey Hume, Michael Ballard and Ronaldo. Granit Xhaka is the captain, the holder in midfield with Gertruda. Bertrand Traore, formerly of Chelsea, Siddiqui and Lafay, and Wilson Isidore, who was part of the promotion-winning team, is up front. Referee is Andy Madley, who's going through the pre-meeting formalities with the skippers, including Reece James, make his 100th Premier League start.
Yeah, Reece, good to see. I was speaking to someone about Reece earlier about how we now look at Reece in a very different way. It wasn't that long ago that I think most Chelsea fans, and I'm going to say pretty much every Chelsea fan, when Reece went down or something happened, their hearts are in our mouth. I don't feel that anymore. I feel that there's a bit of a robustness about Reece, that there's the old Reece that we first saw when he broke in, scored the equaliser against Ajax, back when he was 19, back in that 4-4, right? Is now what we expect to see on Chelsea's best team, and I don't, those worries that
Chelsea half, jumping with the Chalabar, James, and the ball played back to Sanchez, who clears away first time towards the right-hand side, where Reinildo heads down for Sunderland, back in the side after a 3-game ban for a red card against Aston Villa earlier in the campaign. And Sunderland working out towards the right, where Traore tries to run round Cucurella, and Cucurella, I think, has possibly found him there. It's going to be certainly a restart there in Sunderland's favour.
Yeah, Cucurella trying to make his mark on Bertrand Traore early on, and he gets it wrong. I don't know whether he needs to actually make that tackle, you know. In fact, he doesn't. There's no point in telling you he doesn't need to make it. He doesn't. He gives away a cheap free kick. 50 seconds on the clock. It's out on the way. The play is short.
Quick free kick taken down the right-hand side, played in now back to Granit Xhaka. Xhaka towards Traore, left-footed ball clipped in the area. 5 or 6 are there, and the flag has stayed down for the time being, and it does stay down as Ballard comes out from the back and heads straight at Sanchez, who throws out.
Well, he looked offside, right? The fact the flag has not gone up. No, he's on. He's on. I just seen the replay. He's on, big chance. But the fact that Sanchez gathers comfortably and throws it and gives it away, we're giving Sunderland a little bit too much possession in these opening exchanges that I'm actually happy with.
Gertrude playing in the back line here for Sunderland, who have pushed McKeel forward into the defensive midfield sector, which is different to how they've played recent games, but they've made quite an encouraging start here. Sunderland's played through for Isidore now in the area, trying to get round at Champong. We've got a foot in. Sanchez off his line to half clear now, further away. Well, Caicedo back to his goalkeeper, who Sanchez boots it clear, and Sunderland here have made an encouraging start as Garnacho gives the ball straight back to Sunderland once again.
Do you know what, right? You say Garnacho, and you're absolutely right, but it's a terrible pass from Sanchez. What's Garnacho? Garnacho is sprinting at full pace to keep the ball in play. He's actually better off letting this go out of play, if I'm honest with you. The Achampong challenge is great. He goes to ground, has to. Isidore pulls the trigger, goes out eventually. Can we have some possession, please?
2 minutes played, Chelsea 0, Sunderland 0, but a bright start here by the visitors, and Chelsea have some possession here with Enzo Fernandez back to his goalkeeper, Robert Sanchez. Now finding Achampong, and in space to move forward with Sunderland not pressing him, so allowed to move towards halfway and invited to keep going, so why not? Achampong has made halfway now and find Enzo Fernandez, and now Chelsea do have possession with Reece James out towards the right-hand side it goes. Fast chance for Neto to come in from the right, tried to clip it back forward, might still fall to Mark Guiu, and the free kick does go Sunderland's way just outside their penalty area.
Yeah, he comes inside Neto and he tries to play a little pass. Doesn't quite happen. Is it Ballard that goes to ground? It is, isn't it? That goes to ground and gets a little nudge. He's onside. Ballard's header, he just doesn't. He heads it down, which is the right thing to do, but he heads it down so early, which bounces comfortably in front of Sanchez. Do you know, if he heads that, the feet, what you got to try and do is head that down towards the feet. If you see top strikers in areas in and around the 6-yard box where there's not a lot of pace on the cross, they always head the ball down. Why? Because the ball is going to bounce, and eventually it's going to bounce and hopefully fox the goalkeeper. Sanchez giving the ball away again, picked up though by Neto.
Neto moving towards the left, and good ball by Neto, finding Garnacho, attacking towards the edge of the area. Garnacho in the area now, pulls it all the way across, it goes in! Chelsea have scored, 3.5 plays, Garnacho with the strike, that's gone straight through Robin Royce, and Chelsea off to a player against Sunderland. Garnacho gets his first goal for the Blues, Chelsea 1, Sunderland 0.
Well, this has come against the run of play. I know the game's early, we're only 4 minutes in, but the switch of players, Neto plays out to Garnacho. He's got 1v1 with you, and he stands him up. He does a step over. Once he's got a yard of space, drops his right shoulder, puts his right foot over it, brings it onto his left foot. He's only got Roos to beat. I think Roos might be a little disappointed it's gone through his legs. But once he plays, he's got 1v1. In fact, you look at it there, Dave, it's 2v2 if you really want to break it down. Actually, it's not actually Hume he brings in. He gets the yard of space, keeps it low, sits on where exactly he sat, on the same part of that advertising board when he scored against Chelsea for Man United. I think that actually was the one that put them 3-2 up on the night, Dave.
Yeah, it rings a bell. It's gone. The shot's gone through the legs, or it's actually clipped the leg of Roufs and gone in. And Sunderland try and hit back straight away down the left-hand side with a chance for Siddiqui to make some progress, finding Xhaka on the edge of the area. Possible cross here as Neto tries to close it down. Xhaka, left corner of the box, puts it in, and Chalobah with the ball away. So yeah, Garnacho exposing Mukeel down the left after Neto made the run.
I do apologise, it was, yes.
Direct play. Force a shot on target, and as I say, it kind of clipped the inside of Roufs' right leg and bounced past him and in.
It's tough, you know, when you've got a shot on goal as a goalkeeper, you want to try and spread yourself as wide and as big as you can. Yeah, we all remember the starfish that Schmeichel used to do, right? When there's a shot coming in, and it is a 1v1 eventually, I just think it's great play.
Ballard being closed down by Mark Geary, just about gets the ball back to his keeper, but Sunderland somewhat nervous there at the back.
Yeah, and that's good play from Mark Geary. Closes down. The thing I love about Mark Geary, he chases lost causes. When I say lost causes, I mean the ball that the defender and goalkeeper should be in comfortable control. But if you chase those balls and you are forcing them to make a decision earlier than they ideally want to make, you might force that next decision to be made a bit, and he nearly does that. He's tireless, the boy out front.
Cucurella for Chelsea, playing it back to Trevor Chalobah, to Achampong I should say, with Chalobah just square of him. Achampong now plays it right-footed forward. It's picked up there in midfield and worked out to the left-hand side, and here's Cucurella finding Garnacho once again. Garnacho trying to move infield now from the left and puts it towards the edge of the area, looking to knock it through to João Pedro, and Pedro now in possession for Chelsea on the left corner of the area. Back to Garnacho again.
He's got a big role, João Pedro. A big role, because he's going to be the lynch between everything up top. In the wide areas, Neto's on the ball now. Garnacho and Guiu.
James out to Neto. Neto being faced by Ronaldo. Knocks it back towards the right-hand side. James with the cross just beyond Guiu and beyond Cucurella, who goes down, and it goes into the path of Robin Wilsie-Gullers.
Wow, what a chance. I say what a chance. We've got 4 in the box, Dave. Guiu tries to get there. He's a little bit in front of the cross eventually. It's flicked away. Cucurella goes and joins. You've got Garnacho, it misses. Yeah, it's been a funny game already. You know, 7.5 on the clock. They've had their moments. We've had our moments. Obviously, we're 1-0 up.
Granit Xhaka coming forward, good tussle there with Xhaka and Caicedo, and the Chelsea man comes out on top, and Cucurella works it back.
Yeah, they're very high. They're leaving 3 at the back. 3v2 they're leaving there. That's a poor ball there.
Sanchez with the clearance straight to Gertrude, and Lefebvre will combine there with Siddiqui and trying to play it up to Isidora, holds the ball up and goes down under the challenge of Chalobah, and Sunderland getting themselves a free kick about 25 yards out.
Yeah, look to foul. Isidora has pinned him. And it's the pass that's given away by Caicedo that lets everyone down. And in the end, the ball goes in. Yeah, but he's in an impossible position, Chalobah, because the ball's it's a straight ball. He's directly behind the attacker, and anything. So he wants to pin him tight because he's doing the right thing, but then they just lean back in, give the free kick away. This is within shooting range. It's about 9 yards outside the box. It's to the left of the D, Dave, as you look at the goal.
Yeah, and Enzo Lefebvre has placed it down as if he's going to go for the goal from there.
He's having a shot. Well, I don't blame him.
Trey Hume has moved away.
It's a nice angle.
So Enzo Lefebvre with a chance for a right footer here, as I say, about 25 yards out, just left of centre, and a chance here for Sunderland. Lefebvre with the free kick, and it goes over the crossbar. No real concern there for Sanchez. Up and over the bar it goes. It stays 1-0.
Yeah, don't give too many more of those away, though. Don't give him a sighter. Yeah, he just lifted it over the wall slightly too much. Couldn't quite get his range right. So we're playing out from the back. Sanchez is about to be given the ball by Achampong, and he has. And now Sunderland are pressing.
And Sanchez is clearing, and Chelsea get a free kick just in the corner of the area because of the press on Achampong.
Yeah, the pass from Sanchez. That pass, that's a terrible pass. It's
certainly inviting Traore to press.
But if we're going to build from the back, Dave, right, which is fine, right? There are some passes that are on, there's some passes that aren't. That's not the pass.
Chelsea are away from the free kick. Achampong to Garnacho inside his own half. Caicedo back to Achampong again.
That's nice. We built ourselves like 20 yards higher up from where the free kick was, and Sunderland retreated. So they may well have gone back into a 5, you know, Dave.
Since the goal, I would say.
Yeah.
Because now Ballard playing in the centre of a back 5. So it's not something they've done on a regular basis this season at all.
But they're playing a 5-4-1. That's how it looks.
Clip forward by James. Cucurella gets kind of buffeted, didn't it? Ricochets out towards the left, and Garnacho once again. Garnacho in from the left-hand side. Back heel by Pedro. Caicedo to Achampong, and Chelsea now camped around the edge of the area with a neat ball by Chalobah out towards the right-hand side. Switching the play and finding Pedro Neto to come inside from the right onto his left foot. Reece James now for Chelsea, finding Chalobah once again. Across it goes, patient play. Achampong has it. Achampong forward, picked up there by Caicedo. Sunderland with everyone back almost behind the ball apart from Isidore. Neto has it again on the Chelsea right, cutting infield, but 2 attacking him, or 2 facing him I should say. Neto still with the ball, taking it back to Reece James. Chelsea in with pressure and possession, trying to force their way through.
So because they've gone back to a back 5, there's an extra man somewhere.
And here's Garnacho again racing into the penalty area and bats a cross in off Trey Hume and goes out for Chelsea corner.
Yeah, they've gone to a back 5 out of possession, and you do the math, someone somewhere has to be free, especially if you've got good possession in high areas, and that's how Chelsea have looked.
Chelsea have already scored 6 goals from corners in the Premier League this season. They only got 7 from there last season, so that's certainly something they've clearly worked on and have had decent dividends from so far this season.
There's definitely something happening here. So you've got Cucurella 10 yards from it, you've got Neto, you've also got Enzo Fernandez. Now everyone leaves that space. Everyone's gone back in towards the box.
And the corner comes in by Reece James. Near post, Victor all right to the far post. Cucurella can't quite get a shot in. That's blocked away. Might bounce back for Caicedo. Moises Caicedo deflected over the bar. Every time he shoots from there, you think it's going to find the back of the net.
He doesn't score tap-ins. Well, occasionally he does, of course he does. But brilliant set piece. So he dragged them out. So what the set piece is designed. We had 2 players that came out towards the ball. Then there's this decision to go back in from that edge of the box in towards that edge of the 6-yard box. Played in. It's dealt with, but not particularly well. Comes out to Cucurella, has a shot. Eventually we managed to regain possession. Comes out to Caicedo. We've done it again. This time Cucurella comes back out. He's on the penalty spot.
Corner taken by Neto in towards the back post. Ballard rising to head clear, half clear for Sunderland. Only his father was Garnacho, drives it back towards goal and hits the side netting. It goes out for a goal kick.
Well, set pieces causing mayhem, absolute mayhem. The goalkeeper cannot come out. Roofs you can see that he wants to come out as a goalkeeper. You must feel you want to protect your team by coming out, especially when the ball's in the air for a while. And then these aren't drilled in towards the near post. That one wasn't anyway. Oh, given away by Chalobah. He's had a bit of a tricky start.
Isidore being chased by James. James did well to get it back off Isidore, and Chalobah will find Fernandez combining with Caicedo, and now Achampong as Chelsea build it away from the back line. Garnacho, first time layoff back to Achampong once again.
The ball's on to Cucurella. He kept possession, I get that. But we drew out. Drew them out very well, by the way, Dave. Troy already playing at wing back now.
Yeah, a couple of changes during the game for Sunderland, and early changes after the early skirmishes, which saw Sunderland start in quite attacking mode before Chelsea went in front. 1-0 here as Reece James comes up and over halfway for the Blues. Here's Neto coming in, and Neto, the lovely turn there to get the better of Ronaldo. Might get it back down the right, can't quite control. Sunderland away down their left with Enzo Lefebvre, looking to hit Isidore potentially. Turns back inside João Pedro instead, and back into the back line, and Gertruda for Sunderland, finding Dan Ballard, who apparently is a Chelsea fan.
I met his mum, actually. His mum approached me when I was outside Stamford Bridge. She come up, she's a massive Chelsea fan, and she was telling me how much she enjoyed watching me on Chelsea TV over the years. She comes as a Chelsea fan, but she said there's only 2 games I want Chelsea to lose every season. Understandably so, her son Dan plays for them. Lovely lady, and he's a Chelsea fan as well, by the way.
In comes the challenge by Cucurella down the right on Traoré. Oh, Guillaume just slipped over as the ball was heading towards him. That enabled Ballard to come in and nick it back. And now he's going to advance forward here. Retrieves it from Granit Xhaka. Ballard out towards the right now, and Traoré across the face of goal. There's no one really there. Reece James should be able to hook it clear before Lefebvre comes in to make a challenge. And now Neto does well to control that. Brilliant. Just backward of halfway, finding Enzo Fernandez, and James will get Chelsea away.
Yeah, we had a problem there because they got past Enzo and Caicedo way too easily. And Enzo and Caicedo aren't on the same wavelength. One has to go deep, one has to go tight to the ball, and they bypass us comfortably.
Caicedo finding Garnacho has been pretty involved in the early part of the game and got the goal that put Chelsea in front. Sunderland are doubling up on the Chelsea wide players, but it might create space elsewhere. Caicedo for Chelsea finding James, will ping it out towards the right now, and Neto, and now he's up against Ronaldo on his own, and Neto will try and go around him down the right hand side, and Ronaldo gets a challenge in. The Chelsea fans wanting a free kick, but a goal kick is given as Neto can't quite get around the left back.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Leaving 1v1, he actually deals with him very well. Does a little step over, Neto. And when he goes past you, he generally stays past you. Didn't quite happen on that occasion long enough. Anyway, Sunderland, they're now playing out from the back. I think they're going to go long, though.
That long clearance by Rutt has
gone
to nowhere.
I tell you what I find weird, Dave. If you're going to build from the back, if your second pass is going long, you are absolutely destroyed, because everyone's deep of the halfway line. Because that's the tactic. If you then start to try, Caicedo's had a bit of a sticky start as well. It's not been. It's a lovely ball though from Caicedo into João Pedro. Just about to say that, gives a little bit of space to Garnacho.
Pedro moves away and finds Garnacho trying to pip it through for Cucurella, and runs quickly off his line together. Yes, Caicedo had given the ball away momentarily, and then won it back and then played a lovely ball through.
Yeah, atoned for his error. And they go again, they go long. I don't get this, Dave.
It's asking a lot of Isidore.
Honestly, but then the second ball becomes almost impossible, because, so here's what they're doing. They're playing a 4, well, they've got 5 in the back and 4 at the back. If the goalkeeper's playing from the back, you're looking then, you need support from the midfield areas, and you want players coming close to the ball. If your second pass, and it has been the last 2 occasions, is long, you've got pretty much 2/3 of your team looking for the ball at feet. They're going up to Isidore. He's up against, it's like 4v1. Lovely play from Chelsea.
Laid off by Guillaume for Caicedo, and that enables João Pedro to go clear, ran it slightly, enabling Ballard to make a challenge. Ballard trying to get into a rugby tackle with João Pedro, and that will be a Chelsea free kick.
I think that's soft, you know. I think that's soft. I'm not convinced that's a foul. We do brilliantly well. João Pedro knocks the ball out of his feet way too far, and Ballard comes across. It's a robust. I don't know where the foul is there, Dave. I'll be honest with you, mate. Anyway, we get it.
Free kick has been taken, and Fernandez tried to clip it through to Mark Guillaume, but that's seen back to Robin Rutt in the Sunderland goal. 1-0 with 18 played. There's one other 3 o'clock game in the Premier League. Newcastle playing Fulham at St James's Park. That's currently goalless as Robin Rutt heads it. Guillaume sliding in to block the clearance, or attempt to.
They've gone long again, Dave. They're looking
and there's no one there.
I don't get that. It's the 3rd time, as far as I can remember, they've done the same thing. They are a back 5.
Yeah, and the way they're currently set up, it's almost like Xhaka centrally is the furthest forward trying to support Isidore. Meanwhile, Chelsea has spread the play out towards the right with Neto. And
we look comfortable without. Yeah, we've not been brilliant, but we look comfortable.
Fernandez trying to clip it through for Cucurella, couldn't quite chest it down in his stride, and again it was seen back to the goalkeeper by Trey Young.
Cucurella's causing all sorts of problems for them. He's anyone that's it's a free kick. The Cucurella's causing problems because he's that number. He's a left back that goes into midfield that becomes a number 8, but he's the one that goes between Guillaume and Garnacho, and he just drifts in. We've seen him under Maresca do that so many times. Scored some big goals. The Man United goal here at Stamford Bridge back in last season. Actually, Garnacho was the one that spun by Reece James for that particular cross.
Cleared away by Robin Ruths with nearly 20 minutes on the clock here. Sunderland moving forward, but they trail by a goal to nil thanks to Garnacho's early goal for Chelsea. And Lefebvre tries to go in with the challenge there with Reece James, but he wins it back and it's clipped forward for Chelsea. Pedro jumping with Ballard, flicked on for Sunderland. Isidore trying to hold the ball up, looking for Traore. Now they're working out towards the right-hand side. Isidore and Cucurella. Cucurella with a strong, firm challenge. It'll be a Sunderland throw-in deep in Chelsea territory.
It's a lovely challenge on Estao. Slightly, Cucurella going to ground. It's fair, it's firm. Man, you know, it's one of those that you, not desperate, that's not the right word, but he's got to win it. As soon as he leaves the ground, as soon as he makes his decision that he's going to make a challenge there, has to win it, and he does it cleanly. However, as the modern game this season, Dave, is
the long throw is in vogue, and Mukeel has got a long throw, so we will see what he can do here. Nordi Mukeel for Sunderland, player they brought in from PSG over the summer. Referee just holds things up. We've seen some pushing in the penalty area that he's not happy with. Very quick word from Andy Madley to Reece James. And now we'll see the throw in from Mukeel for Sunderland. Launched in towards the near post where Ballard gets a flick onto it, and Traore goalwards, and it's stabbed into the back of the net, and Sunderland do score with Isidore poaching at close range, and the long throw pays dividends, and Sunderland are back on terms. The first shot was blocked away, but Isidore, close range, beating Sanchez, all square. Chelsea 1, Sunderland 1.
And doing chaos. That's what it does. It ensues chaos. The ball in the box. It's so difficult to defend when the throw is so long and so deep, and it is. The long throw's back. It's a loopy one. They actually win the flick on. No, he's onside. He's a mile onside. It's Josh Acheampong, I think, that keeps everyone onside. He tries, he challenges, he's deep. The ball comes back in from Traore, comes off João Pedro. He's a mile on, goal's good, no doubt about it. I look down to the linesman on that particular, but it's dealing with the first ball. Then the second ball actually is more important than the first. That's what this. So the first ball can be won by anyone or anything. The second ball, that then becomes the most important ball when it, for me, on those instances are there, and well, they win the first, they win the second, and they win the third. So anyway, it's been a funny game actually. It's, you know, we took the lead in unconvincing fashion. I kind of feel it's a bit fair, Dave, at the moment. Anyway, brilliant turn from João Pedro.
Pedro.
That's fine. It's good defensive play.
Losing out to Sadiki, who brings Sunderland away down the left. One apiece then here at Stamford Bridge, and a chance for Enzo Lefebvre to come forward and clip it into the area. That's easy for Robert Sanchez. But yeah, the long throw, which we knew was coming, and Chelsea knew it was coming, but it has proven they're not the only team this year to trip over a long throw. It's very much back in vogue, and it worked out. And the shot by Traore came in, and that wasn't dealt with, and eventually Isidore turning it in close range. But go again, 23 played, one apiece.
I mean, there's yes, and it's. I think that probably reflects the. I don't know what you think, though, but it feels, you know, yeah, we've had one or two half moments in front of the goal, but so have they.
Played forward by Gertrudia now. Yeah, I tend to agree.
I'd like to see us be a little bit more dominant in terms of how we can control the tempo of this game. I think we've allowed Sunderland, and credit to them, I've always felt this was going to be a tricky game, and you know, but I do feel that there's the control. How much control have we got of this particular game at the moment? I'd say not. You know, it's 50-50.
Dan Ballard for Sunderland out towards their right, and Mukeel looking for Traore. His challenge with Cucurella. Cucurella has fouled him. Will be a free kick to Sunderland, even though there was a secondary challenge that came in by Mukeel on Cucurella after the whistle had gone. It will be a Sunderland free kick. One apiece. Garnacho for Chelsea, cancelled out by Wilson. Isidore for Sunderland, his fourth goal of the campaign. Sunderland's first season back in the Premier League since back in 2016-17. In fact, their last game of that relegation season was here at Stamford Bridge, and they lost 5-1 as they were seen out of the Premier League in some style by Chelsea. They dropped all the way back to League One for several seasons, but have had a remarkable rise back up for the Championship and find themselves in the top half of the Premier League come late October. There's plenty of investment coming in. The likes of Granit Xhaka, who's taking the free kick now, one of the incoming players. And now it's Gertruda coming forward for Sunderland, but that's been cut out by Caicedo. Caicedo there did well to get the better of Trey Hume, but again the ball attempted for Garnacho doesn't quite work out. It's played back to Robin Ruth, who thought about clearing long first time, takes a touch, now chips out towards the left, but that won't be kept in over there, and Chelsea get a throw midway on Sunderland.
This game is waiting for a team to grab it. You know, neither team has, you know, we've had our moments, of course so have they, but been a little disappointing us, if I'm honest, Dave.
25 played. Enzo Fernandez back to Chalobah. Reece James to Joshua Champong. He's on the halfway line now for Chelsea. Option left is Garnacho. Way over to the right is Neto in lots of space. He's gone short to Enzo Fernandez. He's now found Reece James over the halfway line. Again, Neto coming for the option diagonally right of him. Goes forward to Caicedo and back to Chalobah. Champong to the left now, and Garnacho. Sunderland back in their shape. Chelsea playing with every Sunderland player behind the ball as Chalobah works out towards towards Fernandez, towards Pedro Neto now on that right-hand touchline, but forced all the way back. Sunderland certainly buoyed by the goal they've scored.
Yeah, that's good shape from them, you know. They're forced us back, but managed to work our way into Caicedo.
Caicedo gets it there from Reece James. Chelsea springing forward now in numbers with Neto with an early first-time ball through to João Pedro, tries to turn inside the area. Pedro now pulls it across looking for Guy, who just bounced off a couple of backsides really as Garnacho comes in the challenge and he fouls McKeel, and that will be a Sunderland free kick.
Gets a foul, goes to ground, tries to win the ball. Torreira does well actually, but that's lovely play. You got Pedro Neto, he's offside anyway. That the goal would not have counted had we scored. But Pedro Neto comes off that right-hand side and draws Sunderland into a midfield area. Just have a look down on the bench there, Dave. It's a water break. I did think there might have been someone getting some. Yeah,
Garnacho actually in the act of committing that foul actually did hurt himself somewhat. He's kind of limping away a bit here. But,
the Sunderland fans are in good voice, understandably so. It's a long way to come. Find yourself bearing in on the half an hour mark at 1-1 at Stamford Bridge. It's they're on the same points as us.
Yeah, two sides bang level, 4 wins, 2 draws, 2 defeats.
Whoever wins goes second.
Absolutely. That's quite an incentive, and Sunderland a major one, bringing on where they've come from. Enzo Lefebvre for Sunderland, playing it forward towards the left-hand side. Ronaldo in field, Granit Xhaka forward towards the edge of the area, where Isidore turns and shoots and finds the side netting, and he stayed onside. And the Sunderland fans on the opposite end give a big ooh at that one, because Wilson Isidore, who got the leveller 5 minutes or so ago, have now gone close to a second.
Mile onside. Well, I say a mile onside, maybe he's not actually.
He thinks he's level.
Yeah, and his heel might be. But wake up, 28 on the clock. Not been good enough, Chelsea. Not by some distance. It's been a mediocre performance.
Sanchez clears it out of play, and if it hadn't gone out of play, it would have gone straight to Enzo Lefebvre anyway. Just went over his head and goes out for a Sunderland throw. That throw is taken. It's taken to Siddiqui, who's been
Sanchez playing balls out the back of it, you know, his own penalty with his left foot. You know, if that was Glenn Hoddle, you'd still think, well, that's it's your left. Come on.
Ball is back with Robin Ruff in the Sunderland goal, out towards the left, and Ronaldo looking to play it forward to Siddiqui, who turns away down that far side and wins the free kick.
Yeah, this has not been. You know, the games go through increments, all right. You know, 5, 10, 15, 20. You get to 30. At the moment, this game, our goal has really papered over how average we've been, if I'm honest. I'm not, you know, it's just not. It's not been brilliant.
But it will be a Sunderland free kick.
Yeah, I need to see João Pedro get in the game. Caicedo and João Pedro centrally. We've got to do something.
Free kick worked out to Enzo Lefebvre down the left-hand side. Lefebvre pulls it across, and thankfully for Chelsea, straight at Caicedo, who got it clear outside the area towards Pedro Neto, who wins the free kick out there. But you can see the intent of that free kick when they got Lefebvre through.
Beautifully created from the training ground. They block off Yeah, it's beautifully done. I couldn't see how they actually blocked off in the end, but we need control of this game. I want to see possession. I want to see us move the ball through the thirds. The way they're set up, they go from a 4 to a 5.
They're playing a 4 now, yeah.
They slot. There are players dropping in and very fluid, very fluid. What they are doing as a unit, they're staying very tight and compact. That's why we're not saying João Pedro's name enough, because in out of possession, they're making sure they're set tight together. There's a line of a 4 or a 5. Very difficult to kind of break those lines, especially when they're set in their shape. We need to move that ball quick, as we did with the goal, Dave.
Neto and Fernandez not quite on the same wavelength there either, as they give it away down the Sunderland left, and chance for Siddiqui to come forward.
Yeah, we're not at it.
Sanchez short ball away to Achampong, really fired it at him, and Achampong did well, and he's been hauled back there, and the referee said play on quite rightly. Troyo was fouling him, but Achampong managed to wrestle free anyway, and he finds Caicedo, and Caicedo forward to Reece James, and now Chelsea could be on the move. Reece James to Pedro Neto, infield from the right hand side onto that left foot. Neto tried to find Caicedo, but instead it was cut out by Siddiqui.
Yeah, and see how deep they get again. It's the ball from Sanchez again into Achampong. My gosh, talk about testing his touch. But you don't want that ball. You want a nice ball, safe side. Safe side is the opposite side to where the players close down. It gives it on the wrong side at pace. Achampong brings it under his control, does ever so well. We break out on through Caicedo to the right-hand side. Pedro Neto doesn't quite get his pass on point, and they manage to regroup, as they are now, Dave, and everyone is deep in the ball, and everyone's pretty much in their own final third at the moment.
31.5 play, one apiece. Mark Cucurella back to Josh Achampong. Achampong to Chalobah for Reece James. James invited to come forward 2 or 3 paces, but then has to turn back towards
the shape's
halfway.
Good, Dave. The shape's good.
When Chelsea got the ball, it's 5-4-1.
Yeah, they're pretty much a 5-5.
Yeah,
aren't they? I mean, depending where the ball is, but.
Enzo Fernandez trying to clip it through for Mark Guiu in the area. Guiu first time across. Cucurella was arriving. Russ was there together.
Yeah, don't mind that actually. It's difficult to play through this team, and we actually did that. Mark Guiu makes a lovely run, stays onside. He makes the run from central to the left, and then makes bends his run in between the full-back, or the wing-back is at the moment, and the centre half.
Caicedo trying to clip it through for João Pedro on the edge of the area, and came the challenge by Ronaldo coming across to cover and got a touch onto it to bring Sunderland away.
They're good, you know.
Yeah, Trojo's lost out though. João Pedro could be in here and didn't shoot for goal. It went across the penalty area, and the referee has said offside.
It's offside
that
anyway.
was a big mistake by Gertruda at the back.
Yeah, it was, and I could see that he was offside. However, the decision for João Pedro he is offside. For him not to shoot is alarming. I think he's just got to put his foot through the ball. And when I mentioned that we haven't mentioned his name enough, right? And he is offside, but brilliant from Caicedo. Lovely ball into João Pedro. João Pedro, for me, has got to be a little bit more positive.
Miscontrol by Trey Hume. Cucurella launching it clear. Now a chance for Mark Guiu to run up against Dan Ballard. Ballard gets a head onto it. Out towards the right it goes. And Garnacho trying to come back with the challenge, but it's away by Siddiqui. And he'll find Traore, and the referee will pull it back in because there's a free kick on Trey Hume, a foul on him.
Yeah,
and Sunderland again get a free kick.
We're not at it. We're definitely not at it. All over the pitch at times. We are second best. Sunderland have been good. Yeah, Caicedo is late to the challenge. It's one of those where Caicedo he's right side, and he receives the ball. Who was it receives the ball there, Dave?
Trey Hume.
And as he receives it, he's on the half turn, and he's getting there actually quite comfortably before Caicedo. Caicedo comes in, and it's quite a robust. It is a foul, but we are not on point. We are not on point. And Sunderland have been good value right now, I would suggest, Dave.
Sunderland certainly showing They are here to mean business in the Premier League this season as they take their free kick away. It's headed clear by Reece James towards Pedro Neto away on the right. That's given away again for Chelsea, and Enzo Lefebvre will pick up on the left, trying to go around James, and James gets the foot in and the challenge in and brings Chelsea away. Gets it back here from Pedro Neto. Newcastle lead Fulham 1-0 at St James's with a goal by Jacob Murphy. 1-0 in that game, and Chelsea out towards the left now, and Garnacho, good move so far, and Garnacho up against Traoré here, running round the outside now. Garnacho clipping a cross in, but headed clear midway inside the penalty area. Caicedo wins it back and knocked down by Cucurella, finding Achampong, and again Sunderland back in their shape after a bit of harem-scarum action as Chelsea spread the play from right to left. Now it's a bit more static with Sunderland just trying to close things down. Reece James forward towards Fernandes, back to James once more.
I'm looking ahead of Reece. There's no movement, Dave. Everyone's static. There's no movement. You know, the movement has to come from those wide areas, and Garnacho's come to feet. We're going back, we're keeping possession. They are well set up, they're well structured. There's no I'm looking for the movement in behind. Very little at the moment.
Chalobah for Fernandes. Now Neto on the right. Neto looking to move in from the right and clips it in. Left-footed beyond Guillou and beyond Cucurella, because Ballard was there with a touch to head it clear, but it will be a Chelsea corner.
Yeah, I say no movement, and there's not. But then when the ball goes in those wide areas, and Neto, he's about 10 yards outside the edge of the box, on the, in front of the West Stand, has a little touch, has a look up, floats one in. Ballard wins the ball, flicks it behind for a corner in front of those Sunderland fans. Reece James is over it.
Well, again, Cucurella and Neto within 10 yards, but whether they will run back into the area, as we saw earlier, we will see. Last couple of corners have caused a bit of mayhem, and they do now run into the area, so it will be clipped in here by Reece James. Lots of action in the 6-yard box as James takes the corner, but at that near post, headed clear back to James once again, who clips it this time back more towards the far. Chelsea player has gone down. I think it's João Pedro. It is in the area, and referee has stopped the play. There's 3 Sunderland players around João Pedro unhappy, and the referee taking some kind of instruction down there.
Yeah, I've got to be honest, my eyes were firmly on the ball. Let's have another look. Is there anything here? Nah, there's nothing there. Nothing.
Don't think so.
Nothing in it. Both stay on the ground.
Well, João Pedro is sat up now in the area, just virtually on the penalty spot. It's a tangle with Gertruda.
He sticks his arm in his throat, face.
Maresca just watched the replay himself and is kind of giving a quizzical look as if to say, can we get something there?
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to get anything there, are you?
No, the problem we've got is that we get 2 angles, we get, you know, and when there's bodies in between, it looked nothing from first instincts, and the second look that we had, Dave, that kind of backed it up. Maresca's, he has some thinking to do. We're not a million miles away from half time, you know, and this game has been, as I feared and thought. I think this will be a tricky game for us. I wasn't coming here thinking this is an easy 3 points by any stretch of the imagination. And Sunderland have proved so far, the opening 38 minutes, that they are here to cause problems.
Well, certainly promoted sides do normally find it tough here at Stamford Bridge, but Sunderland giving a good account of themselves so far. Enzo Fernandez to Garnacho, coming up against Trey Hume on the left-hand side. Back infield it goes to Fernandez, clips it forward right-footed, and the hoisted hat clearance by Ballard up and over his crossbar, and Chelsea get a corner.
So we work the ball down the left-hand side, and Garnacho takes the ball as far as he possibly cuts it back inside to Enzo, who predominantly actually can operate. Well, he's been on the right-hand side of the midfield too, defensively, and he plays a really short, narrow ball into the box. It's not a great ball, but because it's not a great ball, it causes problems. Goes behind for a corner. Reece is over it. And then you've got the midfield. Sorry, the 3 of that keep dropping deep and go near the post.
Comes in by James towards the near post, flicked across Garnacho. It's cleared off the line, and he's going to get it back on the right-hand side. Sunderland just escape.
Beautifully worked. Best corner we played by some distance.
Garnacho pulling through at the far post, firing towards goal, and it was definitely hacked away there, and they'll try and break away now. Will Sunderland, as they move way down the left and play it forward. Long looking for Isidore, and Chalobah gets his head onto it and should be able to clear down the right. In fact, to play it back to.
Yeah, so you've got the three that come to the near post. It's always Garnacho. It's always seems to be Enzo. Definitely Cucurella. And the ball goes near post. It's flicked on. Garnacho fast stick. On this occasion, drills it towards the goal and it's defended well. They see that they're setting their shape and it's a walking pace when we get into their final third.
One ball by Reece James goes beyond Alejandro Garnacho and out for a goal kick, so some frustration there, but Garnacho close to a second goal. We're seeing a replay now of this corner, which was, as I say, taken near post, flicked on, and Garnacho drives it forward right-footed towards goal and just hacked away there.
Yeah, actually there's enough bodies on the goal line that clears it. Actually, it's the
keeper actually got on this.
Yes, it was the goalkeeper. We couldn't, from our angle, Dave, we couldn't see that, but he manages to keep it a goal. He takes it long, 40 on the clock, 5 plus whatever the ref decides to add on.
Won't be too much stoppage time here, I wouldn't have thought. Mark Guiu here chasing against Dan Ballard. Ballard back to Robin Rose, takes a slightly awkward first touch, but has a chance to launch it clear left-footed. In comes Chalobah with the header down. Decent header down as well to Caicedo. In comes the challenge by Isidore, and it will be a foul by Isidore.
Yeah,
Caicedo, free kick.
Yeah, ball between... His body was between ball and man. Isidore gives the referee was well placed. Madly, he wants the free kick taken rightly in the right place, and we do. It's taken short, but they're back in their shape again. I can't help but feel that we need to find ourselves in a situation where they're out of possession, out of shape. When they're like this, they look pretty well organised and very well set. That shape of a 5 at the back and a 4 and a 1 is very effective.
They haven't conceded bags of goals at all, Sunderland, this season, as Garnacho again attacks now from the left for Chelsea, playing it back to Achampong. Achampong being faced by Traore. João Pedro tries to hold the ball up, but Chelsea have lost out now. The break could be on here. It's 3 against 3 momentarily, but it's played out towards the right, and Bertrand Traore. Sunderland have got men steaming forward in support. Traore goes for goal, and Sanchez gathers. Sanchez throws out now to Caicedo, and Neto is away, and because Sunderland had committed 3 or 4 forward during that move, there was the brief chance, but now we have the 5 back at the back line for Sunderland, the 3 tracking back in front of them, and we're back to where we were when it started.
I'm shouting go, go, go. He actually does throw the ball out, and the Pedro Neto's on the right hand side, and Caicedo looked at him, and you see the pass, it's got to be inch perfect. He decides to keep possession, but what that does, of course it allows Sunderland to regroup and get themselves back into their shape. Bit of space though for Pedro Neto on the right.
Neto up against Ronaldo down the right hand side. A bit of a shove there by the defender, which the referee is happy enough to allow to go. Chelsea fans certainly wanting a free kick, not given. Sunderland have given it straight to Reece James.
Didn't think it's a free kick, just think it's too strong. Pedro Neto's having a pop at the assistant on that right hand side. So it was a good strong challenge. Space in the middle of the park, and they're just allowing Chelsea to have it. You've got Enzo, you've got Reece, and you know they're all sat within. I mean, you could was it 15 yards deep between pretty much everyone on the pitch.
Garnacho inside tray here and finding Fernandez to Achampong. He'll look to just have to turn back on the left now for Chelsea. Back to Chalobah. Neto making a run on the right of him diagonally. Goes short to Fernandez, about 35 yards out from goal. Space now for James to run into away on the right, playing it back to Fernandez. 43 played here, 1 apiece at Stamford Bridge. Chalobah to Josh Achampong. Achampong back to Chalobah again. Play congested up in that final third, but Chelsea still trying to unlock this Sunderland door with James back for Enzo Fernandez. Fernandez across to Caicedo, being urged to shoot, but there's just no way through. Chalobah does shoot, and Rowe saw it late and tipped it over the crossbar for a corner.
Well, it was begging for someone to shoot, Dave, because they're sat so deep and they're not close to the ball down. I reckon Caicedo, about 4 passes before, was thinking about the shot. In the end, Trevor has thought, do you know what? No one's closing the ball down. I'm going to have a dig. He does. It's a good strike. It's solid. It's true. Straight at the keeper. Palms it over. Corner Chelsea. Same routine.
Into the final minute of the first half. Neto down the right with the corner, left-footed delivery. Keeper has come and fumbled it, but João Pedro couldn't quite get into it, nor could Cucurella. It might come back for Caicedo to play it back forward to Cucurella again. Slight miscontrol by him. Garnacho is taken out by Hume. That must be a free kick, and it might be the first yellow card of the game.
Well, he goes to ground.
Chelsea trying to take the free kick quickly, but that's not been allowed.
Well, he goes to ground, and when you go to ground in the modern game, you've got to win the ball cleanly. I think he gets the ball, Dave, but he gets man as well, right?
Definitely.
Let's have a look at this. Yeah, the ball. Oh, I don't know, Dave. I think that's a clean challenge, you know. I think the ball's the most important thing always for me. I don't know what we can do there. Actually, I think that's a good, solid challenge. I think the referee's got that wrong. But you know, go to ground now. It's been outlawed. Anyway, enough of that. Free kick, Chelsea. I would say, it's 10 yards outside the edge of the box. Equal where the edge of the box. What's that line called, Dave? When it comes up, what's it called there? That when it comes up that way to the edge of the box.
The D or the it's just been taken up. Garnacho who floats it forward and Robin Roos gathers. So yeah, we'll work out some names of dimensions.
Sorry, mate. I shouldn't have disturbed you while you were doing your
I was just going to say we've got 3 minutes of stoppage time.
The one that goes, you know, horizontally up the side of the pitch. What's it called?
The touchline.
Yeah, becomes that. What's that
you
called?
Have to draw me a diagram. And
So on the edge of the box, what's that called? That line. There's the 6 yard. What's that called? That line. Anyway.
I'd call it the penalty area.
Penalty area. The one that goes diagonally from the touchline up the pitch. There you go. You know what I'm talking about.
We'll get there eventually. Chelsea in possession down there, right, with Pedro Neto finding Reece James. We're in stoppage time. 3 minutes. We'll get the laws of the game out during half time and work out exactly what we call every line on the pitch. But Neto coming in from the right now. He's got James just square of him on the right. Neto still coming in field, looking for an option here, looking for some movement in front. Chelsea got 5 in the area. If someone can find a cross, James back for Neto once again. Clipped in now by Neto, and Robin Roos gathers. There's no one there.
It's a terrible cross. It's a terrible cross from Neto. Honestly, he is so good from those wide areas. It's have that feel of cross touch. You know, you want to whip it towards that far post. Anything over here, it's gonna. He's better than that, by the way. I'm telling you that. He's, you know, feather that. You feather it in with a bit of pace.
We have about a minute and 10 to go in this first period. It's still 1 apiece, and Enzo Fernandez for Chelsea playing it square to Reece James. Reece James finding Pedro Neto to again come in from that right hand side, again faced by 2 Sunderland defenders. Knocks it back. Fernandez, first time ball clipped in towards the back stick where Garnacho was there. Trey knocks it down.
Why do we keep hitting that far post so consistently? Brilliant from Achimpong. Brilliant. But we got Garnacho and Cucurella. I mean, I understand the far post, but on that particular case, could we go a bit more central to Mark Guéhiou? Mark Guéhiou must be thinking,
he's the biggest fat bet.
Right? He has to be the one you look for when that ball's in that white area sometimes. Go centrally. We keep going to the far post. Because they got 5, they got bodies at that far stick to deal with it.
Garnacho for Chelsea as we approach the half-time into about 25 seconds to go here. Caicedo finding Chalobah towards the right, long ball for Neto again. Neto against Reinildo, cuts inside. Reece James, right-footed ball clipped in, trying to find Fernandez. That one was more central, but again it was cleared. Granit Xhaka away down the left and further forward by Reinildo towards halfway, onto the foot of Trevor Chalobah, who'll knock it back to Sanchez, and that'll probably be just about that for the first 45 here at Stamford Bridge. Away to Reece James, and the half-time whistle I think is going to go here. Yes, it does, and that is half-time. 1 apiece is the score here. Well, Chelsea got the start they wanted after a scare early on. They got the lead through Alejandro Garnacho before 4 minutes were on the clock, but Sunderland have certainly come here to frustrate when Chelsea have got the ball, but they've also carried a threat, and the biggest threat came from a long throw which Chelsea couldn't fully defend. Bertrand Traoré sent it back towards goal. It was turned down by Wilson Isidore, and therefore at half time it's Chelsea 1, Sunderland 1.
Yeah, and not been great in all honesty. Sunderland have, I would say, their tactics, game plan, everything they set out to do has been far more effective than what we have attempted, especially when they get deep of the ball. Some of our balls from those wide areas, not been impressed, particularly from our left, our right, where the ball comes in with Pedro Neto on his left. It's been very disappointing. Mark Guéhiou, I would be looking to play. I know that because of the shape of the team, it's a 5. You've got 3 marking 1 essentially, but moving the ball quicker. Just thinking about what might be going through Maresca's mind, Dave, on the bench, and about the changes he can make, and his decision making off the bench recently has been pretty good. I know he took a little bit of flack against Brighton and the red card against Man United. Estao is the one. Yep. That stands out like a sore thumb. I'll be stunned and amazed if he's not on the pitch at half-time. Because this game is crying out for someone with a bit of creativity, something a little bit different. We're a bit too predictable. The Sunderland are a bit too comfortable. We get 1 or 2 half mini moments, and it's not balls out from wide areas. Pedro Neto's delivery at times has been either overhit or wrong selection of cross. It wouldn't surprise me if we see Tariq George come on or something like that with the get-ins, changing something up. They're the 3 that I'm looking at right now, that I'm looking to say, how can this game be changed? Because Sunderland's, it's now a 45-minute game. If you had told them that on the way down there yesterday when they travelled down, that 45 minutes to get a draw, they'd have beaten your head. But I think it's fair to say they're good value for it. The goal comes from us breaking from deep and wide areas, and playing the ball in wide areas, and we managed to break them open. Since the goal, we've seen them go back to about 5, and now they've got their toes back in the game. I don't see him changing it. Reggie's got it right now. This is the right opening part. They were a little bit too brave, very cavalier, and do you know what? Actually caused us 1 or 2 problems. But the goal itself, I think he'll look at that and go, how we left ourselves there? 2 at the back with Garnacho running us. Anyway, a set piece has undone us. Long throw. Chaos ensues. We don't deal with those very, very well. Sam Parkin, former Chelsea Academy player, of course. Chelsea centre forward, joins me up here on the gantry. Sam,
hi, Jace.
Sam, good afternoon.
How you doing?
Not happy, Sam, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
No, I'm not happy.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that first half?
Well, I think it's a fair reflection, probably, of what we've seen. They've obviously changed their system a little bit. I was scratching my head the first 5-10 minutes as to what they were playing. Hume, in particular, seemed to be.
Well, they're 4, and then a 3, and then a 5.
Yeah.
And they. Go on, sorry.
No, I just mean, Hume's position was causing me to scratch my head. And I think, actually, because he looks to be doing a bit of the going into midfield in possession, maybe that helped in the creation of the opening goal, because Garnacho got 1v1 against Mukiele, didn't he? Skinned him.
That ain't happening again this game. I'm telling that for nothing. We had 1 chance and we took it. Yeah. That we will never see that scenario present itself again this afternoon.
Yeah, and it feels like Hume's done quite well up against Garnacho, and then Ronaldo on the other side, Ronaldo up against Neto's done quite well as well. And I think the truth of the matter is, Jason, we're playing against a team who don't look like a promoted side. That's the biggest compliment I can give them. And I know they've chucked a few quid at it, in comparison to some of the promoted sides recently, but it's unusual to see 4, 5, 6 of their new players fitting into the Premier League so quickly. So I think when they've got back into their 5-4-1, it's been difficult to make chances. A lot of balls going in, a lot of balls been put in from wide.
For me, our balls from wide areas have been terrible.
Yeah.
I'm going to dig out Pedro Neto, okay?
Yeah, that last one.
The balls, that's got to be his most favourite decision. Dropping the right shoulder, opening the goal up, lift up your head. What selection of cross, pace of cross, direction of cross. So he's getting it, he ain't getting them right. And I just wonder, Sam, at times, how will you look for that? Mark Guillou, we're not picking him out. We're now looking, fast stick. You've got Garnacho and you've got Cucurella. We're trying to find them. I'm sorry, but when you're playing a 5 at the back, tell me at any point where they've become favourites. The cross has got to be inch perfect, all right? And if it's not, it's getting cut out. Mark Guillou, I don't know whether we need to perhaps bring him out on that. When the ball starts to build, I don't know whether he needs to. You as an ex-centre forward, you tell me, right? If you come out of that area and you take Cucurella goes in there, you've got him spinning. Is he not better off suited to come and see the whole cross?
Yeah, I think you can vary it, can't you? But if he's going to stay fixed to the centre one, then he's going to be
We're not
easily
looking
marked.
for him though,
No,
at any point.
No, so yeah, I think he can. One thing from the build-up play as well, one occasion Pedro ran beyond Guiu, nothing wrong with that. I think he can become too predictable, those two playing up against their markers, Pedro not varying his starting position, so him running beyond Guiu, I think is an option at time in build-up play. One thing I wanted to say, I think obviously when they get back into their back five and their forward, they've looked well coached and they've looked quite difficult to breach. Well, I think actually they are committing players to the attack, and when Chelsea have moved it quickly, I think they've bypassed their front players quite neatly at times, and that's where the opportunities are maybe going to come, rather than playing against them when they're back in their own shape and back in their own half, which will be difficult.
Yeah,
but I don't think they've come for a draw today.
No,
I think they've come to have a go.
I know, but I said to David after, just before we went to half-time, this is now a 45-minute game. This has now become a 90-minute game.
Yeah, and there comes a time when they'll declare.
Right, and now all of a sudden they're coming in now, and they're frustrating. And this is how you play against Chelsea. Obviously, in situations like this, the first thing you do is look to the bench. I mean, I'd be stunned if Estao does not come off the bench at half-time. If we don't see his number come up, I'll be absolutely amazed.
Yeah, there's some kind of reluctance to throw him in from the off. Jason's going to go and have a break now, and Dave Rowe's going to rejoin me here at the back of the East Stand in a moment or two. But yeah, there's a reluctance to put Estao in from the off, which is natural with such a young boy coming to the country. But yeah, I think there is that real will and that want from the supporters, for one, to get him on a little bit more frequently. Jason thinks that Estao should be introduced, Dave. Yeah, I could see it, but you know, I think sometimes when a manager, I know we saw it at Nottingham Forest, but Nottingham Forest were far and away the better side for the opening 45 minutes. I don't know, I think he'd have planned meticulously the last couple of days. I'm not saying it's necessarily an admittance that you've got things wrong, but I'm tempted to say that he may persevere for another 10-15.
Yeah, I don't think there's been anything spectacularly wrong other than failure to defend a long throw. Had it not been for that, then Sunderland haven't gone massively close. There was the one where Isidore hit the side netting towards the end of the half. Bit better delivery from wide angles for Chelsea, so maybe Estao at some point comes on. But no, I agree with you. I don't think it's a mega panic half-time move at the moment.
No, I think you know, if you're behind here and it's been really subdued, then absolutely you react to lift the team and lift the supporters. I think when you're at home, I'm not seeing that at the moment. They probe towards the tail end of the half and you know, not made too many inroads, so that will be a little bit of a concern. And as Jason just alluded to, it's 45 minutes now, so I think Sunderland's game plan's absolutely been to have a go at Chelsea in that first half. With 45 minutes to go now, do they just adjust their game plan somewhat and recognise that a point would be a very, very good return from what's been an unbelievable start to the season? So, no, I think maybe we'll see a bit more of the same, and then the likes of Estao, obviously. I think Lavia in the team makes Chelsea a better team. How you get him in there, I don't exactly know right now in terms of who would come off, but he would be an obvious one. And I think Gittins for Garnacho later in the half. Garnacho's got a goal, brilliant, but Gittins was fantastic in the week and will be desperate to get out there and affect things positively once more.
Chelsea have had 70% possession. That's the stat, and much of it has been in or around that final third, midway inside the Sunderland half. But how hard is it when they haven't got the ball? They are organised, they are in shape, and they're making it very hard to pick a way through.
Yeah, I think difficult. I said to Jason just then that I think when they've committed bodies forward, their press actually hasn't been perfect, and Chelsea have been able to work the ball up the pitch, and then they've looked that they can be got at and that they can be breached. But when they get back into the 5-4-1, very difficult. I think in this shape that Chelsea are today, with the three joining in. Cucurella obviously going very, very narrow, and almost as a number 10, Enzo and João Pedro. There's kind of 3 narrow behind Guiu. It leaves the wide players 1v1, and the ball has been transferred there, but I think the wing-backs have had the beating of them for the majority of the game. Therefore, it's how do you create 2v1s in that position. And I want to see a bit more of that. They're not going to be able to play through Sunderland centrally, so an extra body needs to join Neto on the right and Garnacho on the left, whether that's a fullback or whether that's one of the outside centre-halves when Chelsea are developing play. I'm not too sure which one would benefit the most, but I just think funneling it wide, creating 2v1s is probably the way to get joy against this back 5.
And is there more from Pedro in that position? And obviously we know that that Buildup isn't too far away from a return, which is good news when we see him again, hopefully fairly soon. But it's you've got Guiu now as a 9, you've got Pedro just behind him. What is the way? I mean, is there more to come in that situation?
I think it's difficult for him when he's playing up against a back 3 and 2 holding central midfield players. I think it's difficult, and also Geertrude has come out actually of the back 3 to go and get in close proximity with João Pedro. So yeah, I think it's been difficult for him to find space in truth. What he can do more is vary his movement, so sometimes he can become the 9. I don't think him and Mark Guiu have to stay fixed in those positions, and when he did run behind once, he made a hash of it because he tried to play square when he should have shot, but that was a positive. And also he's got to make the box with a bit more dynamism and probably a bit more movement between him and Guiu. Guiu seems to be always central. Can Guiu attack the near post? Can he make a little bit of space for João Pedro to dart in? I think he probably just has to be a little bit more varied in his starting positions and in turn with his movement. But difficult afternoon for him so far, and I don't think all of his own doing. I think sometimes you credit the opposition for limiting the amount of space that he's been able to find.
So you'd say probably leave it 15 minutes or so. The subs are warming up, but no one particularly would appear with a view to coming straight on at this stage. So 15 minutes or so, and if it's still 1-1 and frustrating, then maybe a move and some fresh legs late on might do the trick there.
It's no disaster. I know Sunderland have been beaten a couple of times on the road, but you know they've been very competitive, and I just said previously to Jason that the biggest compliment is that they don't look like a promoted side.
Absolutely.
At all. And I know they've spent decent sums of money for a promoted side, but it's very rare that you get a collection of players coming in from different leagues across Europe and fitting into the Premier League so seamlessly. There's 5 or 6 players out there. Xhaka probably a part, who's vastly experienced in the top flight here, but there's 5 or 6 other players who look like they've been playing in the Premier League for years. So it's a good side. So being 1-1 going into half-time, not a disaster at all.
Thanks, Sam. Thanks for your input there. Teams making their way back out. Second half on the way here at the Bridge, where it's Chelsea 1, Sunderland 1. So Chelsea are out on the field for the second half, slightly early it must be said. We're still awaiting Sunderland to make their reappearance. But as we were saying with Sam there moments ago, no change likely immediately as far as Chelsea are concerned.
Well, it won't be long, let me tell you. If that carries on, it will not be long, because just speaking to a couple of lads in the where we have a coffee and sandwiches. The urgency, the lack of urgency, and it's been too easy for Sunderland. They've been good, by the way. I want to give them credit, because sometimes you can always look at our own side and go, have we been good enough? The answer to that is no. But also on the back of that, Sunderland have been well organised since they got this. They went from a situation where they allowed us to have a 1v1 with Garnacho. That situation, as I said to Sam after, that will never happen again. They I don't know how they've allowed that actually, but we took advantage and scored. We need to assert ourselves a bit more. We need to be a bit more, not really proactive, but sharper. There's a bit of a malaise about our build-up. plays into that the fact that they are sat deep, and sometimes it is disheartening when you get your head up and you see like 10 red and white shirts in front of you and there's not a lot of movement, which there's not. I think this game is about us now. Yeah, they've done well, Sunderland, but we need to be better. We have to be better. We come on. Okay, but it's a 45-minute game for both sides now. We can really go. Someone needs to grab this game by the scruff of the neck. Someone needs to get hold of this ball and create something and be dangerous. Do something with it. We've been a bit too easy to defend against. The balls to the far post, drifting beyond the keeper, on the fullback, wing backs. But give them credit. I think they have been good value. And I can't argue with them being on level terms right now, if I'm honest.
Second half is underway and Sunderland in possession early in the second half. Isidore trying to get it back from Traore. Chelsea win that one back and Garnacho away on that far side now for us, winning a throw-in for the Blues.
Situation like this, Dave, take the throw-in quickly. Can we restart the game quickly?
Because as long as you take the time, they get straight back into their...
Yeah, but not only that, I think that sets a tone.
Yep.
You know, I'm not saying when you rush things and give the ball away. Do things as, make your mind up early. Have a, you often, even as a kid, you have a picture in your mind with the ball. What's the next pass? Again, they set up in their five and their Correa comes inside. That's nice. And good movement in front to bring Achampong in there.
Achampong gets it from Correa and finds Garnacho away down the left up against Trey Hume. Cuts inside him now. Right-footed ball. Clipped in looking for Guillou. Knocked down by Gertruda. João Pedro couldn't quite turn it back towards goal.
Much better.
And now the break could be on here with Enzo Lefebvre, but he's held up by Reece James. Sunderland playing from right to left in the second half towards their supporters in the shed end, and Ballard gets it away, and now they have got a bit of a break on here, have Sunderland, as it's worked out towards the right-hand side. Traore into space here up against Correa. Traore's cross is headed up in the air rather by Chalobah. Second attempt, he gets onto it. Isidore challenging, poked away by Achampong, still bouncing around the edge of the Chelsea penalty. Isidore with a lovely turn there, can't quite bundle in between two Chelsea defenders, and the Blues get it clear.
Yeah, games become stretched.
And Garnacho now is supposed to run forward down that left-hand touchline and tries to get round Hume, and Hume gets the challenge in, and Garnacho goes to ground. The referee not interested in that, and Hume gets it away for Sunderland.
Yeah, because we broke quite quickly, Garnacho doesn't have a lot of support. In fact, he has no support. He has to go on his own. Oh, there's a ball on in the middle of here.
Traore again for Isidore.
In trouble here. In trouble.
Ball played across into the area looking for Isidore. It's cleared by Caicedo back there defending. But yes, more stretched here in the first 3 minutes of the second half than we'd seen for the previous half hour, actually.
And I think it suits us. However, you've just seen what Sunderland have done there. They broke on that right hand side when Garnacho was dispossessed. Here's another throw in, Dave. This is pretty much where the goal came from. They're now facing the other end. Of course, they're up against the shed end. Almost identical throw in area. Chaos.
Mukil with the long throw here for Sunderland. It comes in from that right-hand side. Ballard looking for a flick onto it, and it's Chalobah who meets it and heads it clear. It will be a throw-in again for Sunderland, this time much deeper inside, or much back towards halfway, I should say, deeper the other way. And so Mukil may well take this, but he won't reach the penalty area from there. They could try, but no, I don't think that'll be the case this time. They have kept Ballard forward, though, engaging with Chalobah. I'll tell you what, he's going to launch this towards the area. So Mukil just stopped there and then played it short. Throw it short to Granit Xhaka. Towards halfway it goes. And Pedro trying to put the press on for Chelsea.
Had a frustrating afternoon so far, João Pedro.
Yeah, we were saying that at half-time. And headed back there by Enzo Fernandez. Back to Chalobah, who's twisting and turning and being charged down and being hattled off the ball, and Sunderland get it back here with Enzo Lefebvre, who did well against Chalobah, and Chalobah and Lefebvre tangling once again, and the free kick goes Sunderland's way.
Yeah, Chalobah a little bit frustrated they give the ball away. What's happening there?
So Siddiqui is trying to raise the Sunderland crowd by waving his arms in the air, but they have got a free kick here, right down with the touchline, but a dangerous area here.
I wasn't convinced it was a free kick, if I'm honest. Anyway, some defending to do, and this is again in those wide areas, 10 yards from the corner flag right on the touchline, where this now can be whipped in. It's not a throw-in, but it's equally as opportunistic if they can capitalise this as a problem.
Enzo Lefebvre with the free kick here for Sunderland, in deep towards the far post, and João Pedro rises to head clear, heads it behind for Sunderland corner.
Yeah, brilliant start from Sunderland. 5 minutes into the second half, and they're the ones asking the questions. These do, however, Dave, represent real opportunities for the defensive side in the modern game, because you have so many players in deep areas. You can break up pace with numbers. They do have 3 players, 2 on the edge of the box, 1 halfway inside their own half, which they might do short here.
First job defend the Xhaka corner, which comes towards the Chelsea near post, and it's hacked clear. Second attempt by Cucurella. Garnacho away towards halfway. That's asking a lot there of Neto, who'll be onto it, and Neto gets onto it now. And now Neto, it's 1-on-1 here with Sadiki, lays it short to Garnacho. Garnacho, the foot comes back in though, crucially from Lefebvre tracking back. And
poor ball from
just
Neto.
As you were saying, the breakaway could be all important.
Yeah, poor ball from Neto, I have to say. The pass was behind for Garnacho. The ball's got to be in front of Garnacho so he can take it in his stride. Enzo's gone down. I don't quite know why he's gone down.
Getting back to his feet now.
He's saying the ball goes out. Pedro Neto gets there. The pass needs to be, Dave, in front of him, and it's not. It's under hit. It's not a good pass. Well, Enzo Maresca has been told to. Sorry, Enzo Fernandez.
He's been told to go off because the referee stopped the game because he felt it was a head injury.
No, Joe, I don't mind that. I've got no problem with that if the game's going to improve.
So he is now on the touchline receiving treatment, and Chelsea momentarily are down to 10 as Sunderland restart down the left-hand side with Ronaldo back to Gertruda. Ballard now. Ballard moving forward. Sunderland have made a pretty encouraging start to this second half. 52 played, 1 apiece, and it's played towards Traore on the right-hand side. Gets it there from Hume.
Yeah,
and they're keeping the ball here.
They are keeping the ball physically. They're actually a very physical side, aren't they, Sunderland?
Certainly Leboeuf knew what he was doing when he put this together for the Premier League. Didn't have too much time to do it. They only won promotion at the end of May. And it's a team that's been come together from all over Europe, and players that do know what they're doing. Cucurella here battling away, and that's a free kick by Lefebvre on Cucurella. Fortunately
here's what I'm talking about now. Take it early. Yeah, the ball's not gone back on the spot, and it needs to be taken to be early, and we have. We've taken it as quick as we possibly could.
Chelsea will try and bring it forward down there. Right, here's Reece James. Lefebvre has come back to make a challenge, forcing him to go square. Achampong now for the Blues, up towards halfway. He goes, got Cucurella in front of him, and Cucurella comes in and does well. And João Pedro, ball bounces off him though.
Yeah, Josh Achampong's got that ball wrong. I'm not sure Cucurella wants it.
Pedro with a challenge, Hume playing it back. Ballard for Sunderland on the edge of his own penalty area. Mark Guiu coming to close him down. Ballard trying to get it away, but cleared straight at Reece James. Here's Fernandez trying to get it towards the right-hand side, and Pedro Neto. Neto now looking to turn away from Ronaldo down the right-hand side. Good strong play by Neto here, being held up by 2 Sunderland players. Brilliant by Neto, who goes down the challenge of Ronaldo, and Chelsea get a free kick.
Well,
Neto
he's won that.
Holding his face.
Brilliant play from Neto. He's up against 2v1, and he's battling away, manages to keep the ball. He's holding his face, he looks in some discomfort, but he has no right to win this, Dave. He has no right to win it. Yeah, he just catches him around the side.
Ronaldo gets the side of his face.
Yeah,
with the challenge.
It's nothing more than a free kick. He's still down. Get up. You got the free kick. Yeah, he catches him. There's no doubt about that. Not sure.
Chance here with the free kick.
Yeah, free kick, wide right in front of the east stand, in front of the Matthew Harding lower.
54 played. James moves away from the free kick. Neto is there to take it. Quick word between Reece James and Mark Cucurella. Now James comes back. So
where's Mark Guiu? That's what I'm looking at here. That's the one.
He's virtually on the penalty spot.
Yeah, movement,
5
please,
or
boys.
6 Sunderland players defending there in the area. 2-man wall as well. Chelsea free kick. Reece James clips it into the area beyond Cucurella and further away. Turned away by Sadiki.
What a ball! What a ball! It's one of those we're expecting it. Well, but that's the thing when you got 2 over it. 1 left foot, 1 right foot. Bends it beyond, in between the wall. It's defended actually very, very well. Better from us.
Yeah, lovely clip ball in, and Cucurella couldn't quite get there, but it was defended well in the end. Chelsea back in possession though in the centre circle, played short by Chalobah for Reece James. Back to Chalobah once more. Champong for Chalobah.
Drawing them out. They've come out their shape. They've come out of their shape.
Back with Sanchez.
They actually squeezed without squeezing. They're filling areas, Dave, without squeezing the actual ball.
Neto having a battle again with Ronaldo. He believes that should be a free kick. Referee saying it was just a clash between two players. Nothing more was given. Gertruda coming forward for Sunderland, turns away from Neto. Is going to be frustrated by that decision. And Sunderland played out towards the left. Little layoff there by Siddiqui. He's trying to get Xhaka away. Go through to Sanchez and the Chelsea goal. 55 players, still one apiece.
Yeah, and they've not dropped. They've actually, they might go back into their more comfortable shape. Bit of space for João Pedro. Not said that too many times this afternoon.
He's very deep there on the halfway line, centre circle, and gets out towards Garnacho on the left. Garnacho being faced here by Hume. Tries to move inside him now. Lays it back to Pedro on the left-hand side. Pedro tries to flick it back to Garnacho, but in comes Mukil to get it away.
Nice idea. Garnacho on the left-hand side plays the ball back into João Pedro. Makes a run in behind the fullback.
Throw-in was taken quickly, and Pedro once again coming back to offer himself there, and gets it again deep in midfield, finding Garnacho again, and Cucurella much further forward here than João Pedro. So Garnacho towards the left, again being faced by Hume, playing it back towards the left-hand side, cross clipped in by Champong. Neto tries to head it down.
Those balls to the far post just haven't worked.
Yeah.
Not yet, anyway.
Sunderland get it away. It's now one apiece at St James Park. Newcastle 1, Fulham 1, with a goal by Sasa Lucic. There has got the equaliser for Fulham. Played forward by Enzo Fernandez. Ballard half gets it away. Cucurella towards the left-hand side. Now Garnacho with I'm going to call it an attempted shot. It may have been a cross, but whatever it was.
It's a shot, Dave. There's no doubt about that.
And there's going to be a Chelsea change shortly.
Yeah, Estao has. It is. I mean, that was that's as safe a bet as you could have had at half-time. It's taken a little longer than I thought. He's left at 12 minutes.
So this change is going to be made now before the goal kick is taken, and Estao is going to replace Garnacho.
Yeah, so what does that do? That, for me, puts Pedro Neto on the left-hand side. Estao comes out to the right. That's what it looks like to me, and that's exactly what's happening.
So Garnacho, who has scored his first goal for Chelsea this afternoon, early strike by him that put the Blues in front in this game, but they have been pegged back since then, and Garnacho makes his way off the field, and Estao, who was certainly involved in plenty of exciting stuff on Wednesday.
Look, he's the boy. If you want something to happen in tight games, and the Chelsea fans love him. He looks like he's loving life at Stamford Bridge right now.
Well, he has over half an hour here to impact this game, which is still stuck at one apiece. It will be a goal kick for Sunderland, which Robin Russ will take long. No one's come anywhere near him, so it does go long, away up and over halfway towards the right, looking to seek out Traore. One back for Chelsea though on their left, and now a chance for Neto to combine with Cucurella. Cucurella forward to Mark Guiu. Guiu with the hold up, we went backward of João Pedro.
Gets lucky there.
Fernandez did really well to keep possession for Chelsea.
Yeah, tries to play the ball back. It's a lovely ball from Cucurella into Guiu. Guiu's touch is over here. He actually wants to find the supporting run from João Pedro. Doesn't find his man, but Chelsea managed to keep possession.
Home fans getting behind their side as Estao gets his first touch down the right, lays it back to Reece James. He'll play it forward down the right, looking for Mark Guiu. It's being buffeted there by Barrel on the edge of the area. Guiu holding the ball up for Chelsea. Ball just spins away. Now he goes down. The referee not interested again. Fans and Guiu are frustrated by that one.
Bit frustration around Stamford Bridge at the moment.
And Sunderland go on the breakaway, and Isidore could be away here. Isidore charging through.
Brilliant from Josh Champong.
But they're both on the deck, the players going on. Game is stretched. Neto is away down the Chelsea left after that Sunderland breakaway. Neto coming forward. Cucurella in support down the left. He gets it now. Mark Cucurella, first time ball in, just beyond one choke. Estao is there. Estao shot takes the deflection and goes out for a corner.
Oh, brilliant play down the left-hand side. Cucurella finds himself in a bit of space, drills it across. He's got 3 in the box. Esteban is one of them. It's behind Guiu. He can't quite get there. Esteban has a touch on the penalty spot, drills it goalwards, takes the deflection, goes behind for a corner. Much better from Chelsea.
On the hour, Chelsea 1, Sunderland 1, Chelsea with a corner away on the far side, which Reece James will take. Again, the short options with Pedro Neto and Marc Cucurella, but now they'll run into the penalty area. And what can Chelsea do here from this set piece? It comes in now by Reece James, near post. Chalobah was there, headed clear. First time might fall back to Neto. It does. Neto back to James, clips it in first time, far post too long, and probably going to be cleared here by Hume, although Estevao does really well to regain. Brilliant by Estevao. Estevao's done well, and Pedro gets the cross in towards Chalobah. Again, it's cleared towards the box, and now James puts it back in from the left-hand side over the keeper's head. Just got a touch onto it. Estevao on the right-hand side. It is Chelsea pressure, left, right. They can't quite get the final touch, and in the end, Sunderland get a throw in.
Much better, honestly. Now this game has come alive for Chelsea. This is the best spell that we've had in the game. Both left-hand side, right-hand side. Pinning Sunderland back in their box. They're now having a breathe up. It's amazing what subs can do. Amazing what something, how just an addition of something different can change the game.
But I'll tell you what, Champong did superbly well moments before that break took place, because there was danger there with Isidore when he was going forward. Anyway, Sunderland trying to get back in shape, and Hume plays it back, and now it's laid forward towards Traore. Traore to Isidore. He's done well and can't quite get out towards the
come
left.
on, boys.
So it will be a
Now's where we keep the tempo going. I'm looking at Enzo Maresca. He's out of his technical area. The international side, but keep going.
61 played. Chelsea 1, Sunderland 1. Ball with Chelsea on the right inside their own half. Trevor Chalobah to Reece James.
Yeah, Reece, his arms are open, so who's on for me?
And Enzo Fernandez down the right. Can Terry Sunderland also readying their first change of the afternoon, because I think Traore is about to make way. But the ball still with Chelsea, with Chalobah looking for Fernandez. Fernandez tries to slot it forward looking for Guiu, but in came the foot by Siddiqui. Out of play it goes for a Chelsea throw. Still waiting on that Sunderland change, with Enzo Fernandez going back to Chalobah at Champong. Run being made by Neto. Champong almost lost out there.
Oh, lucky boy. Nedes pocket pinched.
Thankfully,
oh, dearie me.
That was a nervous moment, but Estevao has it back on the right for Chelsea, who have certainly raised things in the last 4 or 5 minutes. They've got themselves on top. Can they find the goal? As Champong back in control now, back to Cucurella for Chalobah. James forward for Caicedo.
It's good.
Much
better.
One touch and with decent pace.
Yeah, and there's a bit more movement, Dave, in front of our, the lads coming into midfield.
Caicedo finding James. Estevao now on the right-hand touchline, faced by 2 Sunderland defenders. Estevao coming in field now from the right. Lays it back in midway inside the Sunderland half. Chalobah, still the furthest man back. That's how, again, condensed the pitch is here at the moment, so the players on the pitch.
Yeah, they're so deep, Sunderland. They're so deep.
Estevao for Chelsea. Enzo Fernandez about 40 yards out. Plays it left to Neto. Chelsea again probing. Neto for Cucurella. Back to Champong. Champong for Enzo Fernandez. Fernandez out towards the right now. James is there for Chelsea. Only one to face here, and he gets inside him as well. And Reece James now puts the cross in. Lovely cross by James, and Cucurella was there. He was taken out by the keeper, was he? Well, that's what the Chelsea fans are claiming, that Robin Roofs has taken out Marc Cucurella. The players going on here with Neto, but Cucurella is down in the 6-yard box. The referee's got to stop the play here as it comes across the area.
I can't believe he hasn't.
How can you let the game go on?
I can't believe he hasn't.
Got a player sprawled out in the 6-yard box.
I can't believe he hasn't. It's amazing that he hasn't. Look, it's not a penalty. He wins the ball, but he catches Cucurella. He's got to stop the game. He's got to stop the game. I don't get that. I do not get that decision, because there's no benefit from Chelsea. He's down in the box with a head injury. You've got. I'm not blaming Neto. I think Neto's just got to clear the ball. I think he's just got to I think he's got to put the ball out and make the referee make a decision. But it's not.
But it's clearly a head injury.
It's 100% a head injury. He comes out with his fist. He wins the ball. It's a fair, honest challenge. And Cucurella's gone up. But you can see he's caught him. I cannot believe the referee's not stopped the game. That's as obvious as a head injury as you will ever see.
Totally. Well, Cucurella's now sat up. receiving treatment.
And you know what's going to
Sunderland
happen
making
now?
a change.
The problem that we've got now is that we don't keep possession. They will get possession of the ball.
Yes, absolutely. Talby is coming on for Sunderland. Chemsdean Talby, a 20 million signing from Club Brugge. They did go big with their sales and their purchases over the summer. So Bertrand Traoré gets a ripple as he makes his way off the field of play, and he is replaced by Talby. Marc Cucurella is back on his feet.
Yep, and with treatment, and we're down to 10, and we don't have the ball.
Correct. So currently the ball is with the assistant referee over on the far side. Talby coming on, so may well just swap straight in on that right flank for Sunderland, where Traoré was previously operating. That's their first change of the afternoon. 65 played, still one apiece. Chelsea have been on top in the last 10 minutes or so. It's been a lot better, and certainly the arrival of Estao has perked things up.
Without question. There's still bags of this game left.
Thrown in for Sunderland, but one back for Chelsea by James to Estao. Fernandes trying to clip it forward. Sunderland will get it just about clear on their left in a rather tight spot, but they've cleared it. They've played it out of play there. A little bit too intricate. It will be a Chelsea throw-in taken by James. Back for Chalobah. Chalobah for Achampong. And Chelsea fans trying to alert the referee to the fact that Marc Cucurella is ready to come back on, and the elapsed time is such that he can come back on now. So Chelsea are back to their full complement of players.
Yeah, can't find João Pedro. Look at Reece James trying to find João Pedro. They're marshalling very well in the middle of the park.
He's definitely trying to come deeper in the second half to try and get more. Now here's Guillaume tussling with Ballard down the right, and lost out where the ball was there at that stage actually. And in comes a foul by Estao.
Never free
goes to ground.
Honestly, they are the assistants. They get absolutely sucked in. It's the modern day foul.
Well, it was a brush by Estao, and Ronaldo with plenty of experience took it. Because there will come a point, surely, in this game where Sunderland do take a look at things and say, well, hang on a minute, we're one apiece at Stamford Bridge.
They will be. And you know what, they've managed that throughout the whole game very well. Actually, that balance between do we want the 3, do we want the 1? And they've actually, other than our goal, I think they've actually got it right, Dave. There's been moments they can attack, sat deep when they need to.
Cucurella tries to get Neto away down the left. It's a really good ball by Cucurella. It's picked up by Neto, being faced by Hume over on the far side. Cucurella now in support and gets back on to receive it back from his previous pass. Short to Caicedo now. Caicedo forward towards Enzo Fernandez. Didn't quite get full control of it. Would have been a lovely clip towards goal if he had, but in the end into the arms of Russ.
Yeah, that midfield 3, of Enzo, Moises and João. Not really seen enough of them, have we? Haven't seen enough of those real, dominate the ball, have those little triangles, building play. It's been very, very sporadic that we've said their names, and it's not been often enough where we've mentioned the names one after the other, which means there has been relationships. It's one of them there.
Chalobah for Reece James, 68 played, still one apiece. Reece James forward towards halfway for Chelsea. Fernandes over on the right. Lefebvre back with the challenge. Chelsea possession once again. James for Fernandes. Estao in front of him. Fernandes plays it off. Lefebvre gets possession once again, midway inside the Sunderland half. Plays it back into the centre circle and finds Chalobah. Chalobah for Achampong. Achampong for Neto. Neto looking to go inside the challenge and does so. Neto's done well and tried to play in Guillaume, but the challenge came back and McKeel got it away for Sunderland. McKeel for...
They're good.
Yeah.
Sunderland are good. They are good. Make no mistake about it. This is a very, very good team.
This is not a Sunderland team that you would say on this is going to be in any sort of relegation trouble.
No, they're a good side. You're looking all over the pitch, very comfortable in possession, very well organised, this is it's a free kick, and that's lucky because Chalobah's going to picked up a free kick there, and it might well be a booking, it should be probably, but it's the pass from Enzo which absolutely stitches him up. He's almost duty bound.
Yeah, Lefebvre had to go for it.
I don't think that. Yeah, the challenge he's had to make because it's there to be won. He's a bit unlucky actually, but it's the pass from Enzo That pass is a terrible pass, and the pass is so bad, it's actually done Chalobah a favour. I can't believe I'm saying that.
Well, it's Enzo Lefebvre of Sunderland who has received the yellow card. Chelsea have got a free kick which they've taken, and Reece James has it in centre field for the home side. Achampong towards Neto away on the left. Hume is the defender challenging him.
Esteval's been starved the last 4 or 5 minutes.
Clip forward now, looking for Cucurella on the left-hand side. Chests it down by the byline. First time ball in. That's all he could do.
Yeah,
Wins the corner off McKeel.
Done well. That ball's it's the pass from Reece, and it's central, and the run from Cucurella where he comes from that left-hand side becomes an 8, then he becomes at 9. Brilliantly controlling his chest, goes out for a corner.
Corner is taken short by James to Neto. Back to James once again, finding Neto on the left-hand side. Neto thought about the cross instead, laid it square to Caicedo. Back with Neto once again, trying to think about the time to put the ball in. It goes across to Estao instead, 25-30 yards out. Space on the right for Trevor Chalobah. Estao cutting inside though and playing it back across midfield to Reece James. James finding Fernandes, invited to get towards the edge of the area, invited to shoot, but shoots straight at Robin Roos. The Sunderland keeper gathers, and it stays one apiece.
Yeah, opened up for him, thought about cross. Oh, they've gone long, by the way.
Yeah, Roos goes long because Talby was in some space, didn't quite control, but did get some possession, and now they'll try and bundle their way forward. Strong challenge comes in over on that far side.
Right,
Chelsea
build.
wins it back.
They're out of shape. Coming up, build!
Reece James, can Chelsea build while Sunderland are out of shape? Hume has gone forward and
come on, Reece, that's got to be done quicker, that there, Dave. And I know that there's not a lot of options, but I think Reece can perhaps do things a bit quicker.
Caicedo finding Neto, 71 minutes on the clock. Neto driving towards the edge of the area, puts the cross in now, beyond Guillaume, might arrive to Estao at the far post, can't quite bring the ball down, puts it in the area, headed down by Fernandes, straight at Roos.
No. Moments, little mini moments. He does well, Estao. Ball's on the left-hand side for Pedro Neto. Cuts back with his right, finds it to Estao. He has a touch, hesitates, and in the hesitation, he's just bought himself a yard of space. Plays the ball in towards that penalty spot area. Because there's no pace on the cross, and it's not even a cross, it just kind of lofted in. Enzo's got his head on it, but he's trying to generate the power through his neck, and you're not going to beat a goalkeeper from the penalty spot with that. But encouraging again. We're knocking on the door. They, by the way, are sitting deep and looking at the counter attack. That's exactly what's happening.
Play forward now for Estao, trying to head it across. Estao is being given a free kick against him for the foul on Ronaldo, who has gone down. And I think Sunderland may take their time here. The indication of the last 5-10 minutes is Sunderland are happy with what they've got. If they can get something on the counter, then fair enough, but they are going to be happy with Chelsea to take all the ball they want and sit in behind. Sunderland are preparing further changes down on the sideline. There's a couple of changes in fact on the way for Sunderland. Chris Rigg amongst those, I think, about to come on as the ball's worked back to Sanchez from Chalobah.
They're not as an attacking threat at the moment. Sanchez has had probably the quietest 20 minutes that he's had all game, possibly, Dave. Or thereabouts, right? But do not think that their attacking threat has disappeared completely, because they are waiting and picking. They're kind of set, not traps, but they're all sprung, ready to go as and when.
73 played, still one apiece as Chelsea have it on the left with Pedro Neto. Neto back to Josh Achampong. Achampong for Reece James. James back from Caicedo to Chalobah, and now Enzo Fernandes. Again, Sunderland in their shape at the moment.
Enzo kind of drop a little bit deeper, isn't he, to try and dictate the game if he can. João Pedro involvement very limited again. Look at the box they've got around him, Dave. Look at the Sunderland shirts around him. There's a box. The midfield too. They're back now. Any one of their back central defender, they're three that they have, are surrounding him. Mark Guillaume find it very difficult to find space.
Little flick there by João Pedro. Guillaume tried to flick it back
so
to
tight.
him.
That's that box I was talking about. It's so tight. And now they spring. Now they're looking to break.
Here's the break with Enzo Lefebvre down the left. There's three pouring forward, and the break could be on here with Granit Xhaka bursting forward. Granit Xhaka in the area.
Brilliant
tries to turn inside and
brilliant. Now break. Do it. Go.
Achampong blocking out Xhaka, and now the break is on with Sanchez out towards Enzo Fernandes. Fernandes plays it forward. Mark Guillaume on the chase here now, and then back comes Ronaldo to get the foot in, and Guillaume's left the foot in, and it will be a free kick here to Sunderland, and chance them to close it down once again. Here come a couple of Sunderland changes. Isidore making way. I think it's Broby coming on. And there will be a second change. Lefebvre is coming off, and that's Chris Rigg coming on.
Granit Xhaka thought he was in. Josh Achimpong stays on his feet, cuts inside. It's a brilliant piece of defending from Josh Achimpong. Granit Xhaka there cuts in on his unfavoured right foot, but there is going to be a change. Broby's coming on.
And it looks like Chelsea are also about to, I think Gittins is down there, about to come on for Chelsea. I think it's going to be for Guiu.
Yeah, so what will happen is João Pedro goes down the middle. I think Pedro Neto comes back out to the right. I think Gittins onto the left. And I think we see Estao as a 10. That's instinctively, that's what I think we will see.
Okay, well that's
Let's
not
see
going to happen
how that
just
plays
yet.
out.
Gittins standing by to come on, but the ball is back in play with Sunderland, with Robin Ruffs away, and that will go out for a throw, and now may be the Chelsea change. So, well, again, possibly holding up here.
Yeah, I kind of get that. Mark Guiu's huffed and puffed. It's been difficult for him because the way they're set up. He started the season, didn't he, with Sunderland?
Yeah,
so
scored a goal for them in the League Cup, and that's Achimpong also making way for Tosin.
Yeah. So Achimpong comes off. He's been good, by the way, again, Josh. Yeah, might have a little knocker, actually. He went in for a challenge, you remember, Chelsea fans around us. Standing ovation, brilliant young man. What a player this kid's going to be. Tosin comes on. He goes to the right. Pretty much for a break. And it is, as I suggested, Dave, it is going to be that front four of Neto on the right, Gittins on the left, João Pedro down the middle, and tucked in behind in that 10 position is going to be Estao.
Sanchez clears long for Chelsea with João Pedro on the chase. Ballard who heads it clear, and Estao gets a bump there from Xhaka, but the referee happy with that. Estao comes in to challenge Xhaka again, this time gets the foot in. Cucurella onto the left hand side, first touch for Gittins. Caicedo in the centre circle, playing it back. We've got 14 minutes to go here, still one apiece.
Still plenty of time. There's 20 minutes of this game left. 20 minutes of this game left, but Sunderland, they've dealt with whatever we've thrown at them, and I say throw loosely, whatever we put towards them, because it wouldn't say thrown. I wonder if we see
Enzo Fernandez playing it forward, and that's well controlled there in the area by Estao, who lays it square, and Pedro was sliding in and couldn't quite get on the end of it, just went backward of him. So he's now clearing the box.
What a run, what a ball. He's onside as well, Dave.
Fernandez once again.
What a chance.
Fernandez for Chelsea. Worked out towards James now. James gets it back from Caicedo. Here's Cucurella on the left. Home fans urging the team to bring it forward now with Trevor Chalobah playing it into the area. Chalobah towards the back stick, and it goes beyond everyone. No one challenging. Neto was there closest to it, but in the end it was seen out by Ronaldo. It goes out for a goal kick. It stays one apiece.
Yeah, ball not good enough defensively. He saw that. Oh, is he on? He might. Oh, it's hard to tell from that angle. He's been very tight. Couldn't quite find her. It's a lovely run from deep, and that's what Estao can do. He gives that, and that's the run we haven't really seen from João Pedro. As you mentioned, Dave, coming to feet, trying to create space from those deeper areas. Well, that's not what Estao's doing. What's happened there?
Robin Russ has made a mess of the clearance there. He's cleared it straight out, and there's the quick throw-in. Went into the crowd, but Cucurella was there with the new ball, and out in came the throw straight away. Here's Sanchez, the Chelsea goalkeeper, for Tosin.
Chance to go second here, by the way.
Yeah, totally.
That's what's at stake here. Oh.
Sanchez short for Caicedo. Crowd grumbling slightly with that one, but they have got it away. João Pedro looking to flick on in a battle there. In fact, he's had a free kick given against him there, which is a real frustration after a battle with Mukiel. Mukiel is down holding his knee, and Sunderland have a free kick, and we have got 11 minutes to go here at Stamford Bridge. Will there be treatment required here for the Sunderland man?
He's still down, but
the referee's not interested at all, is he?
Well, the referee's ran off.
Yeah, referee says get on with it, get on with the free kick, which they'll do. So this free kick is on halfway for Sunderland. Certainly taking their time over it, but Granit Xhaka will play it forward now for Sunderland. In fact, he'll play it right hand side. where Rigg will try and get his first touch up against Cucurella, who does well to defend, but it's facing his own goal, plays a ball back to Caicedo, and very calmly done back to Sanchez. Sanchez up towards the halfway mark, where Estao was in a challenge, but flicked back forward by Barrard for Sunderland, and now he's out of position, and Chelsea could come forward here with 5 making their way through. Chance to really attack here as Fernandes plays it forward towards the edge of the area. Inside the area is Pedro, right-hand side, still just in the box now, with Neto back outside the area, offering the angle, but Pedro clips it in left-footed, and he clips it beyond Gittins and beyond Estao, and it's going to be seen out by Xhaka for a goal kick.
So disappointing. In our quality in our final third today, Dave, that's been a real disappointment out there. You know, the lack of real genuine creativity, lack of chances, lack of it's been below standard. It's been you know, it's below par. And they've dealt with us well. Again, I risk of repeating myself, and there's still 10, maybe 15 minutes left of this game, maybe more. But we've not caused them enough problems.
Robbie trying to flick on for Sunderland, but losing out. Fernandes tries to get Chelsea moving once again. Neto can't. Neto losing out there to Ronaldo, who's going striding forward here in rather uncharted territory for Sunderland. Substitute Talby puts a cross into the penalty area, and a really important touch there by Sanchez, who's actually palmed it onto the Sunderland man at the far post, and it's gone out for a goal kick.
Well, ball given away, sloppy from Enzo. And you're right, Sanchez comes out, gets a palm on it, unconvincing to be honest. But it comes off the back of who's it come off?
It's Brobby who's come on.
Just come on.
And now the flag is up for offside against João Pedro. At the moment, it's just not quite. It's not quite clicking. We've got 9 to go. It's 1 apiece, and Sunderland getting a free kick. And every time they do get a free kick, it's taking time out of the game. Granit Xhaka standing over it, and certainly Brian Brobby coming on for these closing moments here for Sunderland up front. As Xhaka plays it forward now, Barrard up from the back to try and head it down. He's won the first header. Chalobah gets it half clear. Fernandes further away towards the edge of the area, still bouncing around the edge of the box though, and should be dealt with now, but knocked down by Mukir, who gets it back. And could Chelsea break at this stage as the visitors go striding forward now, and blocked away there from Gertrude's effort, as he was somewhere where you wouldn't expect him to be at this stage of the game.
This game's become a little bit scrappy, if I'm honest. It's Sunderland on the edge of our box there. We don't clear it particularly well at all. Oh, that's
another poor curve by Robin Roach, who's way out of his goal here. There was a chance momentarily for Caicedo to go for goal from inside his own half, but it wasn't going to work out. And again, João Pedro summing up his day really has gone down and not got anything out of it. So Xhaka for Sunderland will try and get them away to Chris Rigg down the right. He's being forced backward though by good work by Cucurella.
As well.
Mukil for Ballard once more. 7.5 minutes to go. Ronaldo down the left for Sunderland once again. Played back by Gertrude to goalkeeper Robin Roofs. Roofs left-footed away, trying to Tosin with the challenge there. Tosin with the challenge on Brobby.
Yeah, Brobby wins the ball. He's a big lad.
Yeah.
Aggressive header. And the Sunderland fans believe there's more in this game, and I don't blame them. 7 remaining in this fixture.
Certainly could go either way, and Caicedo under pressure here from Talby. Gets it back to Sanchez. Mark Cucurella heading up in there. Sunderland win it back once more. Cucurella goes in. Sunderland really putting the challenges in, and it goes down the right-hand side with Trey Hume. It should be Chelsea's ball, I think, over on that far side, if it stays in. When it stayed in, but Chelsea do
well, they're cheering every challenge at the moment.
Absolutely.
And it's turning a bit of a cup tie, Dave. It's got that kind of feel about it. Sanchez's ball out to Cucurella is just a terrible ball. It's under here. It's got so much air underneath it. It's begging for someone to come and challenge him and win the ball. And that's exactly what happens in this game here. The quality in this game from us at the moment, I have to say, brilliant there.
Estao, good play by Estao, finding Gittins away on the left. Now what can he do against Mukil? Mukil with the challenge on Gittins.
Gittins knocked the ball out of his feet too far, Dave.
Yep.
It's a lovely piece of skill from Estao. Brings the ball under his control and just in one movement on the half turn as a touch, plays it one side. Another change for Chelsea. In fact, 2,
yeah.
Dave.
Tyreek George for João Pedro and Andre Santos for Pedro Neto. Double change for Chelsea. Andre Santos on for Neto. George for
What does this do? What does this do? Who does what? Tyreek George looks up. So Tyreek George down the middle. Santos 10. Now Jab. Now we've seen Estao come out to the right-hand side. There's been so many changes up in that top line in the second half. There's been, you know, Estaval's played in 2 positions. Pedro Neto's played in 2. João Pedro's played in 2. Is he going to get the combination right? His substitutions of late, though, from Resca have been good.
Well, let's see if they can work out this time as Cucurella puts the cross in now. First header for Tyreek George up in the air, gathered by Robin Ruth. This is plan C or plan D.
Yeah, we're right down that line at the moment. Right down there.
Sunderland have it from the throw out by Robin Ruth. Played back to Ronaldo again. Ronaldo back to Ruth. Short ball away to Ballard. Being closed down by George. Granit Xhaka arrives to provide the option. Good play by Sunderland here to play out. Very calmly
lovely.
done.
Yeah, and Granit Xhaka adds a real air of confidence and composure, doesn't he?
I think exactly what a promoted team would want, and they've done more to get hold of him. As Chelsea bring it away down their left-hand side with just under 5 minutes to go. One apiece here. It's been one apiece for some considerable time. Out towards the left, or the attempted ball to the left, and Gittins. Fans getting a bit frustrated, wanting more, but it's Sunderland here who could have more on the break with Chris Rigg being challenged by Cucurella. They want a free kick. They get a free kick around that far right-hand side.
Couldn't see from here, Dave. Looks like it might have been a free kick, but the ball from Casado's not good enough. It's under hit, not enough pace at all. Selection of pass given away, encourages Sunderland to come out, but these these represent opportunities because they've been very. They're a side that are happy to sit, and I'll have to say they've done it very well. It's not criticism, but they have got men. And a lot, by the way, in the advanced area here. They're looking at this. Get up.
Player has gone down.
Get up.
I must confess I was watching where the free kick was being taken from.
Reece James gives him a shove, but you know, get up.
So it's Trey Hume over the free kick for Sunderland. Referee sorting out that little tete-a-tete. It's Reece James and Ballard, in fact.
Embarrassing there from Ballard, I'm afraid. However, happens in the modern game. Some defensive work for Chelsea to do. I mean, it does feel next goal wins if there is a goal.
Hume with the free kick then, foul on that right-hand side. It comes into the area. Caicedo with half a clearance. Estao battling for it on the edge of the box. Sunderland get possession back once more with Xhaka moving forward up against Enzo Fernandez. Xhaka running into a rather a blind area there. That gets the throw in down the left.
It's been a good second half, Xhaka.
Yeah,
really
very impressive.
Good.
And Sunderland fans enjoying what they're seeing, because for the last few moments really the ball has been much more in the Chelsea half. They've not been under too much pressure.
Well, another throw-in, Dave.
And oh yes, Mukio is over the throw-in. This is on the left-hand side. In it comes from Mukio, looking for Ballard to flick on, and referee gives a free kick. Cucurella goes down in the area. Free kick Chelsea, 2.5 to go.
Yeah, this ball's not going to come back quickly. The ball's gone back to Roos. Oh, he does actually. It's bizarre. He does actually play the ball back into an area where we can take the free kick early.
So, is there late drama here at the bridge? Is there a Liverpool-type finale to this game?
Very well. I mean, the game was poised like this, wasn't it? Estao come up with a winner. God, terrible ball from Moyes. His passing second half has been terrible. Terrible.
That's caused Santos to give away a free kick. That means a yellow card, and that means more time out of the game. So that all came from the short ball by Caicedo, selling his teammate short. Santos coming in with the challenge on Broby, and that's a free kick and a yellow card.
Moises Caicedo. No one's been great today. I can't dress this up. Some defensive work to do. Easy, you know. These aren't difficult passes that we're asking players to make.
Xhaka's free kick up towards Ballard, but Sanchez collects and now needs to get rid while Ballard is out of position, as he does get rid, but Ballard now dashing back, and Chelsea still inside their own half as they look to bring it forward, and they do so now. So here is Caicedo receiving from Chalobah. Fernandez towards the left-hand side, and Gittins attacking against Hume now, left corner of the area. Gittins going forward, getting to the byline. Great play by Gittins, and turned out by Mukio for a Chelsea corner.
Well, there's not been a great deal to cheer about last 15 minutes, but we do have a set piece. It's going to be taken for Enzo in front of the Matthew Harding end. It's going to be an in-swing of his right foot.
We tick over into the 90th minute here. Enzo Fernandez with a short corner laid towards the edge of the area for Caicedo. Caicedo playing it back towards the left. It's worked out towards Fernandez. Once again gets it back from Gittins. Fernandez finding Caicedo. Ball yet to reach the penalty area, but now Reece James might be there. Reece James finding Estao. Estao about 30 yards out square once again. Can they find a way through this Sunderland back line? Caicedo to Fernandez. Gittins for Chelsea now. Left corner of the area. Gittins again lays it square and back, and now Caicedo drives and takes a deflection and blocked away and cleared away for Sunderland.
They're not going to let Moises Caicedo have a free shot on goal after what he did against. No, and that's it. Learn from other teams' mistakes, and that's what they've done. They sat deep again. Last 10 seconds remaining. What is going to be on the fourth official's number?
I think we're going to see 6 minutes here as Gittins comes forward down the left for Chelsea. There is still time in the game. Gittins clips the cross in now. It's beyond Santos. It can't be met by Estao. Reece James coming in with a challenge. Sunderland player has gone down. It will be 6 minutes to add on, and the break could be on now here for Sunderland as Talby tries to get Rigg away on the right with an expansive ball, and Rigg can't quite keep it in play.
Do it early. Take it early. Go! We do take it early. Cucurella finds himself with a bit of space in midfield.
Well, there's still time in this game. 6 minutes of stoppage time. We're just into them now. And Santos towards the right now, finding Estao. Can he go around the defender on this touchline, trying to go in between? Gets the free kick. That'll do. Ronaldo fouls him. Free kick to Chelsea. And
give the ball back.
Sunderland holding on to the ball there with Talby.
Isn't that? I mean, stopping.
It's stopping a quick free kick. But anyway, it's going to be a free kick. Reece James and Estao standing over it. It's on the right. It's midway inside the Sunderland half. It's definitely one you can put in from there. 1 minute into stoppage time. Chelsea free kick. Reece James with that free kick in. Movement was there in the area. Santos, the flag's up. The flag is up. And that comes to naught. And it stays one apiece, with over a minute of stoppage time play, but there is still time in the game as Robin Russ comes to collect the ball to clear. Referee just tells him to get hold of it and get moving, but such a frustration there when you have a decent set-piece opportunity. And now I think the goalkeeper is trying the patience of the referee, who doesn't yellow card him but tells him to get on with it. And yeah, that free kick was disappointing, shall we say. 4 to go of stoppage time. Chelsea 1, Sunderland 1. Been that way since quite early in the first half, really. Sunderland trying to come forward. They won't get the free kick they want there, and now again they're slightly out of position with Broby claiming a free kick that wasn't given, and now Estao going forward for Chelsea towards the right edge of the area. Estao bursting into the area, but that
brilliant
was
defensive work from Sunderland.
Defended.
Yeah, they get numbers back as well, Dave. It's not just
launch here forward for Broby over the top here. Chance for Sunderland to win it. Broby in the area, just being held up here by Tosin. There's nobody anywhere near him as far as Sunderland are concerned. Broby has it now, tries to lay it square. Chance for Talby. Talby scores. Sunderland lead 2-1 in stoppage time. A classic counter-attack. Broby held the ball up. He held it up forever against two Chelsea defenders. In the end, the support came from Talby. He launched it forward right-footed. Beat Sanchez. 2.5 to go. Chelsea 1, Sunderland 2.
No words. No words. One straight ball down. Absolutely crestfallen here. Absolutely crestfallen. It's just a straight ball down. Honestly, I cannot believe. Can't believe what I just witnessed.
There will be a brief check on the fact that the Talby shot, there was another Sunderland player standing almost.
Yeah, this goal should not be disallowed. It should not be disallowed.
It's gone well beyond Sanchez. It's the time that Broby had. He held the ball up for, it felt like about 10 seconds, waiting for people to come and support. And the substitutes combined, and the goal is good. And Sunderland, who have dug in and sat in, are now in front with 2 minutes to go of stoppage time. Is there any way Chelsea can rescue it here late on? Enzo Fernandez with a long ranger that's over and out of play, and we're in those last 2 minutes now. It's 2-1 to Sunderland. The promoted team, the playoff winning team, are going second in the Premier League tonight, at least until Liverpool play later.
Oh, honestly, the truth is, we ain't been good enough. It's not been great. I can't polish this performance. And we got done here. Looks like we've been done.
Granit Xhaka forward for Sunderland. Rig on the chase down the right-hand side. Chalobah seeing it out for a throw-in. Bit of a tussle between Cucurella and Rig. But Chelsea have not got time to mess around with this. It's got to go forward. We've got about a minute of stoppage time, plus a bit more for the goal celebration. But Broby's done it again here, up against Tosin in the area. Tosin stabs a challenge in, but that just gives Sunderland a throw-in by the corner flag. And my money is this one won't go long, as we've seen earlier in the game. This will take all the time they want. Well, we saw Brighton here stun the bridge, but of course there was the red card in that game. We've been impressed with the way Sunderland have gone about it, but that was a real bolt from the blue at the very end. Referee giving Chelsea a free kick now for the foul by Broby on Cucurella, and there'll be one last chance to bang this one forward, try and rescue a point.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember Roos making any saves second half. It's been very, very poor from us. Yeah, this has been a bad day's work, I'm afraid. This has been a bad afternoon, and the chance to go second, Sunderland take that chance, they go above us. Pretty much unthinkable, yet it's happened.
We've played the 6 minutes of stoppage time, so there may be a few more seconds because of the goal that went in during, but there won't be a lot more. It's played back by Reece James. Reece James finding Tosin. It's got to go forward here for Chelsea. It's got to be offering a threat here, because the referee again has checked his watch. Santos playing it back to Reece James. James for Enzo Fernandez. Is there a chance for a ball to come in here from Estao? Estao down the right, needs to get a cross in, lays it square instead to James. James for Fernandez, finding James again. Time is running out here, and James has run into Ronaldo. It's going to be a throw into Chelsea on the right. The referee again looks at his watch. The throw-in is taken. We've got 2 balls on the field. Fernandez playing it back to James. The play will go on. James back to Fernandez once more. He does well down by the byline. Enzo Fernandez wins a corner, and there will be time to take it. The referee is happy enough that this will be taken, so Sanchez will come forward now, and this is the game.
Well, it's desperate times, desperate measures. Players do desperate things. This is desperate from Sanchez.
7 minutes into stoppage time, minimum of 6 were signalled. Chelsea corner, this is it. Estao with it into the penalty area, into the side netting. It's into the side netting, and the full-time whistle goes. And Sunderland have won at Stamford Bridge by 2-1. Their fans over on the left-hand side go berserk in the shed end. The players all hugging each other, and Chelsea, well, one